at DennisPrager.com.
In Zimbabwe, a drought threatens more than 2.5 million people with starvation.
Zimbabwe is now the third Southern African country in just over a month to declare a national emergency. Much like neighboring Zambia and Malawi, which have also declared disasters, low rainfall wiped out half of the maize crop, the staple food. The grain shortages pushed up food prices. Zimbabwe now joins the regional scramble to find maize on the international market. And the authorities say that the number of people needing food aid will be higher than the initial projection of 2.7 million.
That's BBC Shinghai Yoka reporting. Ukraine has lowered the military conscription age from 27 to 25 in an effort to replenish its depleted ranks after more than 2 years of war following Russia's full-scale invasion. The new mobilization law came into force today, a day after Ukrainian President Zelensky signed it. Ukraine's parliament passed the law last year. News and analysis at townhall.com. New survey suggests that most Americans share many core beliefs about what it means to be an American.
The poll conducted by the Associated Press and the Nork Center for Public Affairs Research found that 9 out of 10 adults surveyed believe that the right to vote, the right to equal protection under the law, and the right to privacy are extremely important or very important to the United States' identity as a nation. And 84% who answered the survey say they feel the same way about freedom of religion. The results of the poll have only small variances between Republicans and Democrats, except for the right to bear arms, which Republicans are more likely to see as core to the nation's identity. Donna Warder, Washington.
Former President Trump threw down the gauntlet yesterday, but there's no sign that President Biden will be picking it up. Mr. Trump is challenging the president to a debate. The former president's words, anytime, any place. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope you're having an awesome day thus far.
Indeed. Welcome to it.
Yeah, of course, not going so well. It is early. Got a lot of time to turn around.
Plenty of time to make the day right.
Unless you work night shift, then your day's
on the night shift.
I'll tell you, that is a good feeling. Because I worked mids when I was in the military, and on Friday morning, that was like my weekend started.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget, like in the military, it'd be 8 o'clock. I just get off work and I literally go back to my dorm, grab a beer, and sit on the porch there, watch not a porch, but the little hallway or whatever. You know, it's like a dorm room. So I'm sitting outside watching that, just watching people go to work and everything.
Watching them trudge in for their final day of the week.
Sitting in my BDUs with the kicking up in a chair with a beer. You know, it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice
it's
time.
A good feeling.
Yeah.
I will say I did enjoy when I worked graveyards. The main problem I had with graveyards was I didn't get to go home and go to sleep after that. I had to go to other work after that.
No,
that gets in the way.
Yeah, I went home and then I had a ritual. Usually I'd get breakfast or dinner in my case afterwards, have my beer or whatever, beverage. I'd stay up because Jerry Springer would come on about 9 o'clock, 9:30. So I usually watch Jerry Springer.
That was your late night viewing?
Yeah. And then I'd usually pass out around 10:30, and
like
I'd get up.
The rest of us watched Leno. He watched Springer, and then eased into a
and then I'd
peaceful
sleep till
slumber.
about 4 or 5 o'clock, and
Nice.
then I do my evening and go to work.
Yeah, the one time I remember working graveyards, it was at the Allsops on 2nd. I would get off there at 5.
Yeah.
5 or 5:30, and then I would book it to the radio station to do the morning show.
Yeah.
And to record my afternoon tracks.
Yeah.
And then between like 11 and like 2, I would sleep, and then I'd go back to the radio station to finish the afternoon show.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets rough.
It was a rough 6 months. Yeah.
The only other thing with the other negative part about midnights was like anytime there was a random quote unquote random drug testing or exercise,
right?
I always got shafted on those.
You got stuck.
Well, what would happen, and it happened on multiple occasions, with the drug test, they would call. I get off work at 8. Literally go home, do my routine, and at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, about an hour after I got home, you got popped for drug test, and you got to come back in. So I have to get back in uniform because you can't do it as in civilian.
Sure,
you have to do it in uniform because there's a whole rigmarole with that when you do a drug test. You got to. But anyway, and so then usually about 10:30, I get done with my day there. But then exercises would kick off. And I don't know how to explain this. Basically, it's us preparing for war.
Sure.
And there was 2 different types of exercises, a phase 1 and a phase 2.
Okay.
Phase 1 was like the mobility side, processing you out, getting you on a plane to get you to wherever you're going to fight a war. And then phase 2 was you playing war at your base, pretend base, and I live in a hangar for 12 hours and have to wear chem gear and do all that stuff and run around and play with pretend explosives and stuff like that. That was kind of, but those always happen. Like I'd get off work, and then they're like, and they do surprises. Sometimes they announce exercises, but sometimes they we're not telling you to prepare you. And I would literally on those times I'd get caught. And one time it went from a phase 1 to a phase 2, which was kind of unusual.
Right.
Usually they had one or the other. And they called up, and I literally got off work. So I worked a 8-hour shift, got in, had to process. That took another 10 hours. Then I had to do a 12-hour. So I literally worked from midnight till about midnight 2 days later.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So when you got popped for a random, did you get like viewed while you were going?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they like watch you the whole time?
Every facet. No, it's a whole thing because what they do is so I get to and it was an office. It was not like a building dedicated to drug tests, to people peeing in cups. It wasn't any of that. It was a building that had other admin stuff going on in it.
Right.
So I go to this office building, and they go into the processing room. You have to get in line. And then they give you the cup with your name and everything. And then you have to put the cup over your shoulder and hold it in your hand and walk down the hallway in the same area where everyone's doing their office stuff.
Right.
There is a guy, an escort with you, watching you the whole time. You go to the bathroom. You have to set the cup down. You have to take your BDU shirt off because it's long sleeve, just to show your T-shirt.
Right.
So you can see there's nothing down
Nothing
your
on my
sleeve.
sleeve.
Yeah.
And nothing up here.
Then you have to wash your hands before, while the guy watches you. Then you have to pee while the guy watches you. And then you put the cup, wash your hands again, and then march back down the same hallway with your pee cup full of pee over your shoulder.
Rocking it like a ghetto blaster.
Back to the thing, and then they take your cup, and then you're done. But yeah, it's very not personal. It's very, very intrusive, very public.
Well, the reason I ask is because I had a buddy who went to the lengths of getting, and I can only say the name of the product and can't really go into much detail after that.
Yeah.
A Whizzinator.
Oh yeah. Those. But that's just it. They're
checking.
It'd be very hard for you to do that because they're literally watching you in every process. They're looking at everything, and this don't matter if you're a male, if you're a woman. They go in that little stall with you and stand there with you while you're peeing. I swear, I've heard, I haven't watched it, but I've had the other females tell me.
Standing there while she was going.
But I've had the other females tell me exactly their experience, and it was right up in the bathroom in the little bathroom stall with them and everything
maybe
else.
Different vocabulary besides right up in there.
Well, you know how the stalls are tiny. And so you're in there barely fitting.
You're in there.
And then there's someone else with you like, how you doing today? You know, that's a little odd. So, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Let me give you the rundown for today's show. So that we got to do that.
We can do this later.
Okay.
I can set it off to the side.
All right, we'll do it next hour.
Yep.
All right. Is that going to be cold, by the way?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it can be, I guess.
Is it supposed to be?
It's soda. It can be. I'll put it in the freezer.
All right.
In the fridge.
I'm going to try it. I need to try it in its optimal
Fair enough. And it's
way
in
it should be
condition.
served. Yes, exactly.
There you go.
Exactly. Andrew Moore and Gary Thrine with the Roswell Chamber of Commerce are going to join us here in just a few. Give us a rundown and update what's happening at the Chamber. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Peggy Bowen, talking camp convention, joined us yesterday in the 9 o'clock hour. So we're going to play that interview for you, which that camp convention is June 3rd through
the 7th. Yep.
And that's going to be at New Place this year at All Saints Catholic School. So we'll play that interview for you here in just a few, or in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to replay our interview. We had Rick Lamb with the Chaves County Health Council and Roswell Boys and Girls Club joined us on Monday, talking about the Veterans Brainstorming Symposium they're having at Post 28 on Saturday. And then we talk a little Boys and Girls Club as well, too. So we cover all bases.
Yes.
Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the newses of the local national variety, your Roswell Livestock Report recap because of Easter. He went Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday was the live instead of Monday because of Easters. So we'll have
They were
that.
hunting eggs on Monday.
That's right. They're hunting cows. What came first, the chicken or the egg or the cow? But either way, we're going to play that for you as well. And, of course, whatever else we can come up with for today's show. But first, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. High pressure over the four corners covering our area will be in the upper 70s, sunshine, and the wind should stay fairly light for now. Overnight will be clear with low 40s, warming up a little bit on Thursday, low 80s and sunny. We have a low pressure trough moving in on Friday. No rain with that, but it will be very windy. Afternoon high in the mid 80s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Currently, thank you, Steve. Currently 35 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 76%. Winds, proud to say this, calm at the moment. For today, actually, if you're complaining about today, it's kind of hard. It's nice. Sunny skies, 76 for a high today. Winds out of the west, 5 to 10. Hey, not a thing wrong with that forecast. Unless it's wrong. But if it's that, that's good. Yeah, exactly. It'll change. Clear skies tonight with an overnight low of 42. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. For your Thursday, sunny, even warmer. We're pushing low 80s. 83 for a high tomorrow. Northwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning. They'll shift to the south and increase 10 to 15 for Thursday afternoon. Friday, we're looking at sunny skies and a high of 83, but the winds will be blowing out of the south, 5 to 15 early. As the day progresses, the winds will increase 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Looking at your weekend on Saturday, sunny and breezy, 67 for a high. So we're going to see a big 20-degree temp drop from Friday to Saturday. And then Sunday, sunny skies back up into the 70s. So, and then hold on to your butts, but Tuesday of next week, there is a slight chance of rain as of right now. But that's a long way away, so you know how that goes. That's right. Exactly. But teasing it, just if you need something to look forward to. There you go. All right, it is 7:17. I'm trying to get the day going too quick. Let's take a quick break. Your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten. Quick break, and then we'll talk Roswell Chamber biz on the other side. Don't go away.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 778 head of cattle sold on Tuesday, following Easter Sunday on a steady to lower market on lower receipts with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold 10 to 15 lower, feeder cattle 8 to 12 lower, packer cows and bulls sold steady. 3 to 400 pound steers 354, 405, 3 to 400 pound heifers 330, 335, 4 to 500 pound steers 312, 354, 4 to 500 pound heifers 262, 330, 5 to 600 pound steers 263, 312, 5 to 600 pound heifers 240, 262, 6 700 pound steers 232, 263, 6 700 pound heifers 227, 50, 240, 7 800 pound steers 210, 232, 7 800 pound heifers 197, 227, 50, packer cows 115, 134, canner and cutter cows $1 to 110, packer bulls 130, 150, feeder bulls 110, 120. Top half the cow calf pairs $2,500 to $3,250 per pair. Top half the bred cows $1,600 to $1,950 per head. Expecting a better run for next week. I will talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
Hey, this is Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's worst nightmare. You know storm chasers, those out-of-town roofers that descend on neighborhoods after big storms. They come in, do a crummy job, then poof, they're gone forever. Well, a few years ago, our area had a hailstorm, and right on cue, storm chasers showed up. I was driving home from work one evening and saw one talking to an elderly lady on her porch. I said, "Not today, buddy." I did a U-turn, pulled in the driveway, and walked right up to them. I warned the woman who they were talking to, and I chased away the storm chaser. The woman's daughter called me later and said a storm chaser ripped them off a few years ago. She thanked me for stopping this one and chose Trustmark for her roof. Trustmark Roofing. Every storm chaser's nightmare. Every homeowner's champion. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring and roof gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF. or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Are you or a loved one having a hard time getting to your medical appointments? At Artesia General Hospital, we believe that transportation should never be a barrier to good health. That's why we're excited to announce our new non-emergency medical transportation services. Each of our vans is wheelchair accessible, and our friendly certified drivers go the extra mile by meeting you at your doorstep and ensuring a comfortable ride to your Artesia General Hospital services. Rides are available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Schedule your ride today by visiting artesiageneral.com/transportation or calling 575-736-8211.
Your fingernails grow faster on your dominant hand. Not sure which is your dominant hand? Just wait. You'll nail it. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrew Moore and Gary Thrine back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
Actually, Gary, first time on the radio with us this morning. So good morning.
Good morning.
Here it is, the radio.
In all its glory.
What a view.
Yes. Actually, in all fairness, and I've been in radio over 20 years, this is pretty nice. For radio. Like, radio stations are usually in dumps. They're toilets. Yes. They're usually, but now they start putting cameras and things, so they got to kind of, but
make it look nice.
Yeah, back in the day,
right.
You literally were broadcasting out of a closet with literally.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, the janitors like pulling the mop bucket out while you're trying to you know.
I picture WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah. But even that's a little nice. You know? I've seen worse. Like, that was in Cincinnati where they had money, you know, big market, you know.
Right.
You know, here, we don't share those.
Well, the rock
luxuries.
station in Denver growing up, my cousin's husband worked there. So, of course, as a teenager, I thought that was the coolest thing
Oh, yeah, it is cool, but they're dumps.
But it was a huge dump because we'd go over there and he'd be like, hey, come over. I'll give you some, promotional stuff. And it was KBPI, Rocks the Rockies.
Yeah.
And we'd go, and it was that studio, or at least where they, did all of the music and stuff, was probably half of what we've got here.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's and back then the equipment was way different too.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot more digital now, and that was kind of the age of the new digital, and so there was automation systems, but there were still people with carts, machines, and things like that.
Oh yeah, turntables and 8. There were still 8 tracks.
Oh yeah,
in there.
Yeah, that was the infancy of the automation system too, where you didn't have to necessarily have a DJ 24/7 or in the room broadcasting necessarily here. But anyway, we're not here to talk radio history. We're here to talk chamber
Absolutely.
biz. I guess probably, of course, Chamber's got a lot going on here. But
We do.
probably, if we want to go chronologically, I guess probably start with what's happening today.
Today is Wednesday, first Wednesday of the month. So therefore, it is Chat with Chaves County. We are going to be having Bill Williams, as always, comes in, and he's been bringing some kind of history facts about Chaves County. So it's been really cool
Love
to
that kind of stuff,
hear the history. And then Cindy Fuller, the county clerk, will be there to discuss the upcoming elections
election
and how
year
things work.
Yeah, getting registered. If you know, making sure you know where to vote, how to vote.
Exactly.
If you're registered to vote, your registration is good and updated with where you actually live.
Correct.
That would be another one. If you're not, because if you moved, even if it's in town, you might be in a different ward or
across
district.
the street.
Yeah.
If you literally just across the street, it could make a difference.
It could put you in a different ward or a different commission district or school board district, any of that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure you're up to date. But yeah, Cindy's very well informed and very knowledgeable, obviously, about her job. But
she's bringing a PowerPoint. So apparently she's got some really good information.
She brought show and tell.
She did. So come on down. Of course, we always provide lunch.
Yeah, lunch
lunch is on us.
Yeah. So and that's why it's during the lunch hour here, and you should try to get you out of there by 1 o'clock every day.
At the very latest.
Yeah.
We try to be mindful of everybody's schedule. That's why we've scheduled it, 11:30 to 1 is what we put on the program flyers.
Well, you can tell your boss whatever time it ends. Be like, it went all
it's up to
afternoon.
you.
I mean, you can get away with it.
But we try to have everybody out by about 12:45. So that way you have that time to get back to the office.
Yeah, absolutely get back. But it's a great opportunity. Like you said, Bill's very great to talk to. And like whenever he brings a guest, and Cindy, we've had her on the show a bunch. She's awesome. So you'll enjoy that today.
Yeah, so come have lunch on the chamber, 11:30, 131 West 2nd. So that's the big thing. Next week starts our Tuesday programming, because typically if it's Tuesday, we've got lunch.
Yes.
So starting next week, then, of course, the second week of the month, we've got the city update. Then we have the sheriff the following week, and always the last Tuesday of the month is our education. So if you want to be informed of what is going on within the city and the county of Chaves, then you need to come to the chamber and ask the questions. Because, for example, today, just because Cindy Fuller's there, and you may not have a question in regards to elections, if there's something that's pressing on your mind and you want to ask this county manager, ask him. Bill is more than happy to answer any questions.
Really, for folks, if you don't know how the governments run and things, your county commissions, they're the elected officials. They're the ones that make all the decisions and things. But the county manager runs the county. He directs the departments. He tells everybody to do what. He obviously answers to the commission when the commission does their ordinances and directives. He has to follow them through. But if you want to know how the sausage is made in the county manager is the one that knows all that stuff.
Correct.
That's the one who makes everything go in the county here. So if you really want to know what's going on in the county, Bill Williams is probably your most authentic, reliable source for that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Because the buck stops with him, really, at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And I want to introduce Gary Thrine. He is our membership director.
Yeah.
He's been over at the chamber since November, and he is doing a jam-up job.
He's been out and about visiting folks all around town, and you might see him popping into your neighborhood pretty soon.
Absolutely.
So if you haven't already.
Who are you, and what do you do?
Well, I'm Gary Thrine. I have been here in Roswell now since 2001. I can honestly say this is the longest I've ever lived anywhere in my life. I spent 24 years active duty in the military, so that was where I...
So you know about them P-tests and everything I was talking about earlier.
Exactly. I had to give them, and I had to take them. But I'm real excited about being part of the chamber. I've been a Redcoat for several years, and I've been the team captain of the Redcoats. If you don't recognize my voice, just picture the guy wearing the red fedora and all the ribbon cuttings.
There you go.
That's me. These luncheons that we were just discussing would be a great way for all the new members that have joined the chamber to come in, introduce themselves, so we can put a face with the voice that we've been talking to on the phone.
Yeah,
and that way you can learn a little bit more about the chamber, and
that's part of it too. Is there becoming a member of the chamber? There's perks and resources that open up to you. And it would behoove you to take advantage of those. That's sometimes we have people like they become a member and then they don't realize that they do have perks for doing that, and they never take advantage of it. And you're a member. You're paying for it. It's part of this. Utilize it. That's what it's there for. So come and learn exactly what your chamber membership gets you and things like that.
Exactly.
And George, Gary, be happy to sit down and talk with you. Current chamber members, or if you're interested in becoming a member and you're kind of like, I've been a member, but what exactly does that get me? Gary, be happy to sit down and tell you and get all depending on your level. I mean, you could, if you need a facility to meet, if you need marketing and that kind of stuff, we help out with all that kind of
absolutely. And things have changed a lot, especially since COVID.
Mm-hmm.
As we all know, life is a completely different animal these days. So if you had an idea or an experience at the chamber, come back and talk to us. Talk to either myself or Gary, and we will inform you of all of the changes and updates that have happened as well.
Yeah, the things we can do and what we can do to help you, and of course the events and things. But you're right. These weekly events that we do, the luncheons and the meeting with the county and the city and the sheriff and all these, they're information to learn about where you live, but the other part is what Gary's talking about, is that networking and meet your neighbors and talk about shared problems and successes to help each other out in some of this stuff. So
exactly, I've never been it's my way or the highway kind of guy. So I welcome any suggestions from the members, either current, past, or future members.
Yeah.
If you see something on our membership portion of our website that you'd like to see more attention to, by all means, let me know. Like Andrea was saying, we've got a new crew in town, and we are trying to do everything we can to make things better for the chamber and for the members and give value to your membership.
Yeah.
So please, by all means, if you have any questions, stop by or call me and or text me or email me. Either way, and I will answer all your questions. Yeah. I would like to see a lot of members that have been former members that have kind of shied away for one reason or another. Come back and let me explain what we're doing and how we're trying to improve things and make it better for you.
Absolutely.
If you were a member once, then you know that there are advantages to the networking opportunities, and we are one big happy family, and I want to make it grow bigger and make Roswell better.
Well, and it's like, and Andrew and I have talked about this on the show before, where all the members are by default kind of helping each other. Where obviously our mom and pops, our smaller businesses, your small businesses out there, they don't have the marketing departments, the HR departments. They don't have departments. They usually have one or two people, or 6 or 8 people, and so we can help with the ancillary big stuff on that kind of thing. And then conversely, if you're the Fortune 500 company doing business in Chavez County, okay, you got a marketing department, you got an HR department, you've got you probably got a department just to determine where your next location's going, kind of thing. However, what you lack is that integrating into community to take your national or international name and brand and make it relevant to the people of Chavez County.
Absolutely.
And we can help do that. And by default, your membership helps the little smaller businesses grow because we're using that money and using those resources to help them. And at the same time, the bigger businesses get that local feel and stuff that they need.
Exactly, that community involvement.
Yeah. And so that's where we're the glue that can kind of be the adhesive for all of that there. So please reach out. Come today. Come out to Coast County.
11:30. We'd love to have you. I have plenty of food.
Yeah, come have lunch and then sit down and talk with either of these two afterwards. And be happy. Gary will bring you back in the office and we'll hash it all out.
Absolutely. And as much as my family and Gary's family appreciates leftovers on Wednesday or Tuesday afternoon, as the case may be, I'd rather not have leftovers to, because I'd rather have to go buy more food. Yeah. That would be great. But I tend to over prepare in general.
So better to have too much than not enough.
Exactly.
I've never people complain because there was too much food. I mean, they'll say it, but they're not complaining.
Correct.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Correct. But it's all really good information. Like I said, today we've got Cindy Fuller coming in, and she is just a wealth of knowledge. And she's not just going to talk about elections, because the county the county clerk does so much more.
Well, the clerk is the
than
official.
Just elections.
Think about it. The clerk's job, yes, handles elections, but the clerk is the recorder of all things the county's doing.
Correct.
They're the
marriage license, property license, all of that stuff. And so she's the one that, and her staff,
the clerk
who you go talk
to. The records are the history.
Exactly.
Copies of your DD-214s if you're military,
yes.
or you're retired, or you.
And to be honest, and that's something they always tell us. Like when we got out, is register that with the clerk's office, because it's very hard to get a DD-214 if you lose it. The military makes it. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's not easy. However, if you register it with your local clerk's office, and then you lose it, now there's one on file.
Exactly.
You just go down to the clerk's office, get another one, and you're good to go.
Powers of attorney.
Yeah.
We've learned that.
Yeah.
Birth records.
I now
birth
have
certificates.
Major children instead of minor children, which is weird. But we had them sign power of attorneys while they're in college, because now that they are over 18,
exactly.
I'm not supposed to get, or I'm not, over 18, I'm not allowed to call and get grades or health records or stuff.
Yeah, so medical decisions probably you lose.
My children are not married, so if something happens, it falls on my husband and I. So we had them sign power of attorneys.
If they're unconscious in a hospital, you can make medical
and
decisions.
we went and did that because we were told to do the same thing. Go register it with the county clerk, because then that way, if for some reason we don't have a copy, they'll have a copy and we can prove no.
Anytime you have important paperwork that you can't get replaced, you can always go to the clerk's office to get it in the records there. So if you do have that issue, or be like me, I just got literally 400 copies of my DD-214 in different places, so I should never lose it.
My husband is the same way with birth information, birth records, power of attorneys.
Once you've been in the military, you don't realize how many times, whether you've been in 4 years or 40, it doesn't matter. You don't. There's just times in your life, because every time you go, like if you want to go to the DMV and everything to get your DD-214, get a VA loan, DD-214. Just to say you want a discount at a restaurant.
Apply for a job.
Apply for a job. DD-214. So it literally follows you the rest of your life.
Yep.
So, but anyway, that's what the clerk's off. I know we got a little off on a tangent there, but
so what did we do yesterday that you were in charge? Well, you were kind of in charge of. Talk to us about what you've been doing. The ribbon cutting yesterday.
Okay. Yesterday, we had a ribbon cutting to welcome the UNM Truman Health Services Roswell office. And we had, I did not have to take the scissors and the ribbon because they provided their own.
Oh, they had their own.
Yeah.
Now, usually businesses don't have their own cutting material.
And we got there, and the folks were getting things all set up, and the lady in charge asked me if I would say a few words to welcome them.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I really appreciate the opportunity to step up and do that. However, Andrea is the executive director. You should ask her and let her have the option of welcoming you. And then about that time, Senator Greg Niebert walked around the corner, and I was like, Greg, could I get you to do me a favor? please join us today and give a few words of welcome to the health center.
I think Greg
here.
has a few on hand all the time.
Yes. And he goes, I'd be happy to. And so he jumped right in there and like a champ, welcomed them. And the ceremony went really awesome.
Good.
And we had a good red coat turnout. I was real impressed. We're up to 24 red coats now.
Awesome.
And growing more every day.
I was about to say, if you'd like to be a red coat, that is our official.
Come talk to Gary.
Absolutely.
He's the man.
They're the official ambassadors of the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes.
If whenever we have ribbon cuttings, new businesses, or business after hours, or any event that the chamber sponsors, usually the red coats are our kind of navigators, ambassadors. They're everything from ushers to greeters to just the official tone setters of the event. They are kind of our first line of welcome to the chamber.
I always tell merchants that when they join the chamber, or merchants that have been members that do some remodeling or something and want to do a grand reopening, I send them a red coat event request form, and I ask them, I say, by any chance, was there anybody in your organization that you would like to be part of the red coats, and that way they can be out meeting other merchants. And
absolutely, it is a good networking opportunity
and a great way for them to get your company out in front of everybody.
Salespeople, things like that, probably.
Exactly.
Another little avenue.
I always welcome new red coats. It's a great way to get to know people. My grandkids joke at me when we go out shopping or we're driving around town or in a restaurant, and I'll see somebody that I know and I talk to them, and they'll say, "Grandpa, is there anybody in this town you don't know?" And I say, "Yes, there is, but I'm working on that."
Give me time, I'll get them.
Yeah, that's funny too, because my husband jokes about that. He goes, between you and Gary, he goes, I don't think there's a person that the two of you don't know.
Yeah.
And if I don't know him, Gary tends to know, and vice versa. So it's been fun.
It is a helpful trait when you're at the Chamber of Commerce to know a lot of people.
I've never met a stranger, just a few strange people. So
yes. Absolutely.
I have the gift of gab.
And to be honest, to know a strange person and really know them, you have to be a little strange yourself. Because that's my world. I'm strange, but not strange enough where they put me into padded cells. Or
correct.
Nothing. Like I'm just like strange enough to people say, and that's why I have a job in radio, because one part odd is part of radio. You got to be just slightly off center to be a radio guy.
Well, I have told my children, and in fact, I have one of them here with us this morning, and she's in the other room. But I have told my children on more than one occasion, let the freak flag fly.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. In 20 years, people are not going to remember who you were today. And if they do, so what? They can be, they're not the first. They can be the next.
If you do something really good, then they'll remember.
They won't remember you particularly, but they will remember what you did for them.
Well, yeah.
So always do something great.
Well, Maya Angelou hit the nail on the head perfectly. People are not going to remember what you said. People are not going to remember what you did, but people are going to remember how you made them feel.
Exactly.
And that's really what it comes down to. And that's what we try to do at the chamber is, my dad has a saying, MMFI, make me feel important. Well, that's what we try to do. And Gary's really good at it, is making our members feel important. Mm-hmm. You're not the only one in our organization, but you are important to us, and every single one of our members. And it doesn't matter if you are a nonprofit member, a $300 member, or a $2,500 member.
Sure.
We love you all equally, and you all have something to benefit us as the chamber, and then in return, we will benefit you and bless you as well.
Absolutely, yeah. It's synergy, whatever buzzwords you want to use, is what the chamber is. It's there to create buzz, to create opportunity, and to learn, and to stay plugged in. That's the other two. If you have questions about that kind of stuff, resources, business questions, about what's required of you and stuff, chamber is a resource to, if we can't answer directly, we can put you in touch with the people that can answer those questions. So, like if your business in compliance with your LLCs and things like that, or have questions about that, we can help. If we can't answer directly, we can put the people on your radar that will answer those questions.
A prime example of that is when somebody calls and wants to know how to do something or a certain service or whatever. if I click on the membership database, the membership directory, and you're already a member there, then you're the person that's going to pop up first, and I don't have to go Google what they're looking for.
Sure.
And so that's another way that we are putting your company out, because you're part of the family, and when somebody calls,
they're looking for services. I'm like, well, we just happen to have one in our membership here that does a really good job with it. You're looking for Widget A. Here's the Widget A company that's on Main
you're
Street.
looking for a contractor. You're looking for a housekeeper. You're looking for, anything in between A to Z. We go to our database
People call, ask
first.
it all the time. They don't look for just maps of the town. There are people call for other questions too. So.
Absolutely.
And I will answer the question to the best of my ability, and I will not lie to you. So if I don't know the answer when you call and ask, I'll tell you I don't know the answer, but I'll find that out for
Let
you.
me check with. I know someone who probably knows that answer.
Exactly.
Let me get with them, and we'll get back to you. But don't hesitate to reach out to the chamber. If you have questions about everything, you can call or come by.
Yes, please do.
If you have community events and want to get them in our email blast each Friday, just shoot a message
Or
to
a community
either one.
calendar on the website.
Yeah.
Even if
Shoot
you
us an
are
email.
not a member and you've got an event going on in the community, let us know. We will put it up on our community calendar.
Well, and in case for people that are maybe either haven't realized it or haven't lived here very long, like we have tentpole events and things that go on all year, and so we don't there is a thing around here where people try not to do. It's like there's certain weekends and events going on. You're like, we should not plan our event that weekend because it's Cinco de Mayo or it's Chili Cheese Festival weekend or something. Whatever it is. So this is really that forum to kind of do that, and then you can kind of see, oh, that's that tentpole event. Maybe we should work our event not at the same time as that one.
Before or after.
And really, it's a good tool for that kind of stuff. So.
Or maybe your event is a great event to coincide with some of these tentpole events, and you go, you know what? I wasn't going to do something the same time as Piñata Fest, but what we're doing really buttresses against it. So let me make sure I contact them, and let's make this even bigger and better.
Yeah.
But our calendar, roswellnm.org, is a community calendar. That is one of our things that we offer to the entire community, regardless of membership. And we just need to know what it is, and we'll get it up there.
Absolutely. Yeah. So please reach out. We'll get it in the email blast and the community calendar and all that stuff, and help spread the word for all that.
Yeah.
We do that for everybody. And it's just because, we want to know what's going on.
Exactly.
So, what else do we got to mention?
That is the highlights for today. But really, 11:30, come down to the chamber.
Yes.
With the county chat, Cindy Fuller and Bill Williams.
Should they RSVP at this point or just come on?
Just come on down.
Okay, very good. The sandwiches are food's purchased. So,
I will have plenty of food. I promise.
That's the only reason why we like RSVP.
Okay, the only time we're really going to run out of food, and I'm going to be totally honest, is if we have like 85 people.
Gotcha.
And I know that.
Don't say
Gary
that too
can
loud.
attest to that because he's like, yeah, there's always so much food.
Some people might look at that as a challenge, so
that's fine.
Be
Come
warned.
No.
Challenge accepted.
Okay, what is
We're going to eat all the food for 85 people.
What is it that they say in A Christmas Story? I double dog dare you. Bring it on.
Right. We will have an ambulance on by in case you have a coronary eating all 85 people's worth of food there, but very good.
Come on.
But come on, if you have any questions, what's call the main number?
575-623-5695.
Yeah. And if you have any questions for Gary or Andrew about any of that stuff, I thought I put that.
My dedicated cell number is 575-626-4008.
Very good. Call, and if you do not get live Gary, leave a voicemail, and he'll get back to you as soon as humanly possible. Here,
text me, leave me a voicemail, and I will get back to you.
He'll come visit. He'll come to you. You can come to him. Whatever. We'll work it all out and get that done. But if you want to learn more about what being a chamber member means, Gary's your guy. He can.
Gary's the
hear
man.
all that. And if you have any questions about anything else, Andrea can take care of that. Events, things. You want to. Maybe you're a chamber member and you want to set up a business after hours or need the red coats to maybe
Absolutely.
got a milestone coming up here, a business anniversary or a new addition or new ownership or something. And you
Saturday is the grand opening for
El Toro Bravo's food truck, and it's going to be at 801 West 2nd.
Ooh, they got a food truck?
801 West 2nd is where it's
that.
going to be located.
Really?
And so let's come out. It's 11 o'clock Saturday morning is going to be the ribbon cutting.
El Toro Bravo's kind of broad because you got like the chicken stuff, you got the Mex, and then you got the bakery.
Yes.
What's in the food truck? Is it a hodgepodge or
Come out Saturday and find out.
Now I'm kind of like, is it the tacos? Is it the bakery stuff?
Come find
Is it the pollo? What are we talking here?
Yep.
Or is it all three? But yeah, cool. Well, good for them. I like that. That's a great idea.
Heck yeah.
They're kind of a staple in when it comes to Roswell lore, El Toro Bravos.
It's definitely one
definitely
of those.
part
It's
of the
at top
lexicon.
list.
Coming up on the 19th, we have another grand opening at the eyesight. Where Leadingham used to be.
Yeah, they just opened up there in the last couple months here.
Right,
Yeah.
and they have joined the chamber and they want to do a grand opening on the 19th of April.
Right there by the convention center and all that here.
Yeah.
Kind of just adjacent to downtown.
Correct.
And we'll put more about that out when it gets closer to time.
Yeah.
But we love doing grand openings, grand reopenings. So by all means, if you want to join, then let's get the red coats out there to do a ribbon cutting. If you're already a member and maybe, hey, you painted that wall over there, let's do a grand reopening.
Heck yeah.
And send me a red coat request form
Absolutely.
or let me know and I'll send you the form and we can get it all on the schedule and
Absolutely.
and get
the
you
word
guys
out,
squared away.
Get you going, and because I'm telling you, it just hits different when a bunch of red coats show up. It makes the event so official all of a sudden. Like I don't know what it is. Like
It does.
The chamber, we look like amateurs till the red coats show up, and then we look professional. And that's
I
kinda
agree.
what
When
happened.
our red coats show up, we look pretty snazzy.
They're like, oh, okay, they're professional.
I love taking charge and I get everybody all lined up. Who's going to cut the ribbon, and I give them the scissors at the last moment because they are very long and very sharp.
Oh yeah, they're big.
And,
They're full on scissors.
And the red coats get lined up on the right and left, and Andrea takes the picture, and I immediately take the scissors back, and we have a photo board that we all sign, and then we bring that back and put the picture in the center of that photo board and present that back to the merchant.
For all you Boy Scouts out there, he does practice toting ship when he uses the giant scissors. So
Absolutely.
he does safety circle, the whole deal.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like the Scouts. So we're good there. So.
Just like in the military, I give a safety briefing
You
before
will
each ribbon
not
cutting.
shoot your eye.
Absolutely. But and of course, go to the website or come by the chamber here downtown, and we'll be happy to take care of any of your needs.
RoswellNM.org or call us 575-623-5695. We'd love to sit down and chat with you.
Absolutely. Well, good deal. Well, thank
And
you
then
guys.
come introduce yourself because I want to see the face that matches the voice.
There you
Absolutely.
go. There you go. I hear that too, and then they're not impressed. But so there's the face that matches. Sorry about that. That's usually my next response. I'm sorry.
I thought you'd be taller.
Yep, it is. Well, thank you guys, and
Absolutely.
We'll see you. They got a luncheon to get ready for, so they
That's
need
right.
to get going here. So
Thanks, Mike, for having
thank
us.
you guys.
Yeah,
we'll
thanks for
we'll see you
having us.
next time. It is 7:50. Let's pause for news and Kim Commando update. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The Roswell Museum is announcing the new exhibition Regenerative Actions, a first-of-its-kind collaboration with the Santa Fe Art Institute. The exhibition will include the work of regionally based SFAI resident artists. It'll be on view April 20th through October 13th in the Roswell Museum's Russell Vernon Hunter Gallery. An opening reception is scheduled for Friday, April 19th. SFAI's 2023 residency theme was Changing Climate. A regenerative action is a gesture, movement, or effort to achieve a reversal of human-led environmental destruction through adaptive strategies of regrowth and revival, engendering a renewed existence of all species on the planet. Yet another scam warning going out, this time from the Eddy County Sheriff's Office, who says someone is claiming to be Sergeant Jason Decker. People report getting calls telling them that there is a warrant out for their arrest. Of course, they demand money immediately. The Eddy County Sheriff's Office does not operate in this manner. So remember, anyone who demands payment immediately, especially through gift cards, is usually always a scam. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
I'm an e-bike rider, and e-bikes are loaded with tech. They're pricey, fun, and selling like crazy, too. But are they safe? I'm Kim Commando, America's Digital Pro. In New York last year, there were over 200 reported e-bike fires. Some led to buildings burning down, major injuries, and even death. The bike's lithium-ion batteries are the main culprit here. Most are cheap China goods likely to overcharge and then catch fire, especially if you're used to thrashing your bike. Luckily, there is a way to see if your e-bike battery is up to snuff. Check to see if it's UL2271 certified. This means the battery has passed rigorous tests, from how it handles heat to its durability if dropped, making sure that it's less likely to short circuit or overcharge. You'll find the UL2271 certification mark on the battery itself or inside the product's manual. If it's not immediately visible, contact the bike's manufacturer directly for confirmation. Don't play with your life. Sign up for my free newsletter at getkim.com. Are you the one who always has the latest scoop on tech? I'm talking about that go-to person in your circle for all things digital. Well, make that dream a reality with my free daily newsletter at getkim.com. Join over 500,000 curious minds who start their day with the best in tech news, pop culture, critical security alerts, and savvy device advice. And that's not all. Get smart tips that'll have your friends asking, hey, how did you know that? All this knowledge packed into a quick 5-minute read, absolutely 100% free. Yeah, you heard that right. And the best part, you're in control. Unsubscribe anytime, no strings attached. But I have a feeling you're going to want to stay in the know. So what are you waiting for? Sign up right now at getkim.com. That's getkim.com. Your daily dose of tech know-how is just a click away. Sign up for my free daily newsletter today and take the first step into a smarter, tech-savvy you. That address to sign up again? Getkim.com. That's getkim.com.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:54. Time for your Chavez County Sports Report. And that is brought to you by our friends at DSI.
In a time where humans and technology collide, ineffective technology plagues our businesses, schools, and healthcare environments. DSI Document Solutions has emerged as New Mexico's safeguard from the pains of slowed productivity, providing our nation's top business technology, workflow strategies, and support. DSI is here to boost your productivity and reduce your costs. Get ready for success. Visit our new website at dsinm.com.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. A lot of baseball action yesterday for Roswell and Goddard High Schools. Goddard split a pair at home against Clovis, losing the first one by a score 4-2, but bouncing back to shut out Clovis 2-0 in the nightcap. Michael Matheson, a complete game shutout for the Rockets. Cinco Holloway and Ryan Alsop both had doubles in the nightcap. Goddard is now 8-5 on the season. Roswell, meanwhile, plays at home too, but loses a pair to El Dorado 16-8 in the first game. Eli Lynn for the Coyotes 3 for 3 with a double and 3 RBIs. Jackson McDonald 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and an RBI. And then the nightcap, Roswell falls to the visiting Eagles 7-0. Roswell is 7-6 overall. And in softball, Roswell loses barely at home to Lovington 9-8. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. job openings edged up in February, though labor market conditions are gradually easing in support of expectations that the Federal Reserve will start cutting interest rates by June. General Motors reported a drop in first quarter U.S. vehicle sales on lower deliveries to commercial customers, but managed to beat rival Toyota, as other automakers reported mixed results. Frontier Airlines is focusing on growing its network in high-fare markets like Seattle and Detroit. The Denver, Colorado-based ultra-low-cost carrier failed to report a profit in 3 of the last 4 quarters, despite a travel boom. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will return to China this week to continue her economic dialogue with top Chinese officials. amid a new emphasis on the global threat posed by the Asian superpowers' growing excess industrial capacity. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The average American spends 2.5 days a year looking for lost items. We aren't sure how long Europeans and Asians look for lost stuff. We lost the list. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:57. Hey, I did get an email from the folks at Vitalant. Today were originally supposed to be at the chamber with the Bloodmobile for a blood drive today, but the Bloodmobile has broke down. So today's blood drive that was supposed to be at the chamber has been moved to the Vitalant office. They're at their normal office. They're over there by in Grand Avenue Plaza here. So if you were going to go donate blood today at the chamber at the Bloodmobile, and it's from 11 to 3 today, that has been moved to the Vitalant office. So if you go to the chamber to donate blood, you're going to have to go to the Vitalant office today. So they apologize and sorry for the inconvenience there, but sometimes things break down and you got to do what you got to do, and that's what they're doing. So they're making that happen. So just for anybody that was scheduled to donate blood today through the Bloodmobile at the chamber, that you can still donate blood, but you're going to have to go to the Vitalant office here for that here. This Saturday, and we're actually going to play the interview in the 9 o'clock hour talking about this. Folks are invited, veterans, everybody are invited to Chaves County Health Councils during their SWOT together with veterans. It's a brainstorming activity event they're having this Saturday, and they want to help get a common and build a common understanding of how the community supports veterans and their families. So they're looking for brainstorming information. The topics they're discussing are strengths and opportunities that benefit veterans in the community, weaknesses and threats that may challenge local veterans and suicide prevention efforts. The meeting will be from 11:30 to 2 at American Legion Post 28 this Saturday, which is located at 1620 North Montana. RSVP, lunch and child care will be provided, adult beverages for those 21 and over too. You do need to RSVP. Call 211, which is the Chaves County Health Council's thing to RSVP for that. Again, this Saturday, 11:30 to 2. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back on the other side of news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Tens of thousands of homes and businesses are without power this morning as storms roared across a number of states.
In Louisville, Kentucky, Mayor Craig Greenberg said in a news conference carried by WHAS that he's declaring a state of emergency for Jefferson County.
There is definitely significant damage to homes. There's significant damage to fences, to trees.
The storms prompted tornado watches overnight in parts of Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia, Virginia, and West Virginia. About 140,000 homes and businesses in West Virginia initially lost power. In Wisconsin, more than 70,000. I'm Donna Warder.
Taiwan has been hit by its most powerful earthquake in a quarter century. At least 9 people dead, hundreds injured. 7.4 magnitude tremor followed by strong aftershocks. Israel's military chief says a misidentification led to the airstrike that killed 7 Gaza aid workers. The BBC's Jeremy Bowen says right now there are more questions than answers about the tragic incident.
There are reports which I can't personally confirm about the circumstances in which this happened. Some suggestions it might be the activities of a unit at the tactical level rather than getting orders from on high, but all this depends on getting some kind of investigation of the sort that the Americans and others have been calling for.
And Israel is vowing a thorough, independent investigation. A second temporary channel opened at the Key Bridge collapse site in Baltimore, allowing a limited amount of marine traffic to go around the wreckage, blocking the main channel into the Port of Baltimore. On Wall Street, the Dow, 72 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Biden has started tracking Christians like cattle. Yes, you heard it right. He pressured banks to tag transactions for certain keywords. One of them is Holy Bible. That's a horrifying and creepy attack on our religious freedoms. It's made possible by a digital financial system that makes you a sitting duck. But you do have other options. I recommend a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst, a best-selling author, and evangelical leader to people who cherish their financial independence. The Precious Metals IRA can help you avoid the scrutiny of Biden's anti-Christian bureaucracy while also preserving your retirement savings. To find out more, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see how a gold IRA can help you. Text faith to 989898. There are no strings attached. So text faith to the number 989898 right now and take action to protect your own prosperity.
Amazon tweaking the technology it uses, some of its grocery stores.
After hearing from customers who enjoyed skipping the checkout line, but also wanted to view their receipts and savings as they shopped, Amazon Fresh is making a change. Instead of skipping the checkout line and getting a receipt after, Amazon says customers will be using smart carts that allow shoppers to skip the checkout line, but also see their spending in real time. Just Walkout technology will continue to be offered in Amazon Go stores and some smaller Amazon Fresh stores in the UK. I'm Shelley Adler.
Mourners have gathered outside a southern Finland school one day after a young gunman killed a 12-year-old boy and seriously wounded two girls of the same age. The suspect is a sixth grader who attends the school, arrested less than an hour later. The shooting shocked the Nordic nation, where flags today fly at half-staff. News and analysis, townhall.com. A baseball legend behind the mic once again this season.
Bob Uecker received a hearty ovation from fans chanting "Uke" when the legendary broadcaster appeared on the American Family Field video board early in the Milwaukee Brewers home opener. Brewer fans don't know how many more times they'll get to continue cheering the presence of Mr. Baseball. Uecker was back at the ballpark Tuesday handling play-by-play on the radio broadcast of Milwaukee's game with the Minnesota Twins, as team officials remain circumspect about the 90-year-old's workload for the rest of the year. Keith Peters reporting.
Answering President Biden's declaration of Transgender Day of Visibility on Easter Sunday, former President Trump is declaring that Election Day will be Christian Visibility Day. On Truth Social, Mr. Trump writes, November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. It will also be Christian Visibility Day. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody. You know my Android jump drive? Got a wing.
See, I'm real careful on that because I noticed when I was like trying to, I kind of move the arm a little bit. It might kind of.
This one's a little loose.
Easy.
Yeah.
Hey, the swag that the city of Roswell and Keep Roswell Beautiful gives out is top notch, friend. But we're just rough riders.
Yeah,
that's all that is.
That arm is getting a little cattywampus.
We like to play rough. What can I
hate for
say?
him to go the fate of my alien bonehead.
Perish the thought. I just have to. It has to live long enough that I can get it over to Gene. Because I've got an extra one for Gene.
Oh, good.
Just because I know it's going to stick in his
that's
crop.
right,
Hey, buddy, got you an Android.
My arm is. One of the arms is
Yeah.
a little free-flowing there. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to work up a sling for it. I remember when I was younger, when I was a kid, and I don't know why this memory stands out in my head all of a sudden. My sister had an Elmo figure that she used to put. She had in her car. It would sit on her dashboard.
Yeah.
She used to drive a '87 Crown Vic, just a boat of a car.
Yeah, that's a cop car.
It was massive, but and just flesh color too, which was awful.
Nice.
But she had this Elmo bendable thing where it had wires and
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And it was rubber, and I can't remember exactly what happened. Somehow the arm the rubber on the arm broke off from here.
So it's he's dislocated.
To here. So what she did was she made him a paper mache cast.
Oh, nice.
And then went around and had people sign his cast. So for that little period of time, she had an Elmo figure that just had an arm an arm sling that just had little tiny signatures all over it.
If I have to do that to Android, that's gonna be a tiny.
It is going to be a very tiny sling. Yes.
So.
Well, it's.
I don't know if anybody could sign it because it's too small.
It's also, there's certain things that we've had to do over the years, like the fact the alien we've had to top stick the head back on.
Yeah.
And it's not exactly the sturdiest thing in the world.
We might need to get a longer toothpick.
So we're gonna need a bigger pick.
Maybe we need to go 2-pick.
I think maybe it's just down too far.
Yeah, it may have got pushed down too far.
So I'm gonna try to see if I can.
And there wasn't enough
little
sticking on there. To
see, now it just looks like he's wearing an ascot.
Yeah.
Or a dickie.
Yeah.
Under his
Although
uniform.
now that I look at him, he kind of looks more like the alien resident alien.
Oh, really?
I mean, the resident alien's got the head like that, but it's the green's not right.
Have they not ever said his name? Because I don't like the fact that you're 3 seasons deep and you're still calling him the resident alien.
Well, you can't say his real name because it's unpronounceable.
Okay.
So he's a doctor, Dr. Harry Vanderspiegel, whatever his name is in the show.
Okay.
But no one wants to call him.
No, I know. It's just, it's funny. When I think about it in hindsight, there's an entire subset, or at least 4 years, a generation of people that didn't call Family Matters. We just called it Urkel.
Yeah.
It's hey, Urkel's on.
Yeah.
It's literally the same thing with that. It's he's the resident alien.
Well, that's because, and there's one of the episodes, he's like, well, what's your real name? And he's like, and you can't, it's it's so.
Roar like the Team Jaguar.
Yeah. There's a couple times where he talks in his language out there, and it's completely just, chirps and grunts and squeaks and whatnot. So
it's kind of like how when Third Rock from the Sun was a big show, there's an entire generation of people walking around going.
But the part that makes me laugh is because of the and I don't want to say too much in case people want to check it out later, but there's different aliens. They're not all little green men. There's different species and races. And so he's part of the one species, but then there's the grays, which most people probably know is the gray aliens. And so but then there's these ones that look like birds. There's which he's kind of attracted to. It's funny.
He's into birds.
Well, and weirdly enough, he talks bad about E.T. a lot, but he calls him a sexy vixen every time. He's that sexy harlot just
stupid sexy Flanders.
He looks at E.T. like a sex symbol, and it kind of makes me laugh.
It's staring at Big Bird. It's like he's wearing nothing at all.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
And so it's kind of funny. But he just every once in a while he'll be talking and there's just a shot of E.T. It's awesome. It's pretty funny. But anyway,
stupid sexy vixen. That's funny. I really do need to watch that show. I'm working up to it.
Yeah, it's really a good show. You would like it.
Yeah,
I know your style of humor, and you totally. It's because it's smart humor. It's out there enough, but there's enough little witty stuff. And like
it nods to the audience.
You like every cast member. Like the sheriff is a hoot. He's like overly misogynistic and overly based.
See, that is the one thing I will say is I have watched over the past like 2 series that I've binged.
Yeah.
There's specifically one character that I just cannot stand.
Yeah.
Like I watched Ish's Creek on recently, and the mayor of that town, Roland, which by the way, great name when you say his full name. You want to hate him so much until the very end where he kind of redeems himself.
Yeah.
Same thing with Councilman Jam on Parks and Rec. It's like I want you to die.
Well, but
You're
he's
the
like
worst.
smart but stupid. Like his logic is so what that it kind of makes sense. You know, it's like it's so out there, but there's a nugget of like reality in it too, and you're just like, that is so crazy. But you know what? I see what you're coming from there, you know. But it's usually so, and he's kind. But anyway, it's just a good.
I'm
show.
definitely gonna check it out.
It's a good show.
It's
good
on my list for sure.
Do we want to do sodas now, or
We
you want to do
can
it
if
next
you got time. I mean,
yeah, let's do it. We could. Yeah,
Is the
we can
interview
relatively
too long, or-
quick?
Okay.
It's a 29-minute. So tell the story.
All right, so what I've procured. Oh, see, there it is again.
Oh, you did it.
Yep. Oh, that was very let downy. Okay, so what I've procured is a soda from Scotland. It's very hard to find here in America. I've looked at the soda shop here; they don't have it.
Okay.
I
So this
found
was
it
an online purchase?
I found it online. It's called Iron Brew.
Okay.
Now I've heard about this soda like a couple of years ago. It's from Scotland.
Okay.
They call it the number 2 beverage of Scotland.
Okay.
Behind whiskey.
Okay.
So I'm not really sure. I've had a lot of people say it tastes like a lot of different things.
Can I look at the can real quick?
Yeah,
I just
absolutely.
kind of want to see what it says on there. So yeah, it says carbonated flavored soft drink. So it
Yep.
really doesn't indicate a flavor.
Mm-mm.
Let's see what the ingredients say. I can't read this stuff. My eyes. Oh, I can't even read that.
Yeah, I'll run it down. It's only. I will say this for the can.
To be
usually-
honest, it doesn't have a lot of sugar or anything.
No, and
compared
that's
to other
the
sodas.
thing is this
Yeah.
can is 62 calories versus most are like 130
Now,
for
is
a
that
serving
12
this
ounces?
size. This
That
is
can looks a little small.
Yeah, this is 11.2.
Okay,
So slightly smaller.
Yeah.
But I've had people say it kind of tastes like bubble gum. I've had people say I don't want to mislead you with
Ooh,
what I've
okay,
read.
because that's
so.
I think of Big Red when I think of bubblegum tasting soda water.
never tried it. So first crack open.
Yeah.
Ah, nice.
What's
All
the
right.
effervescent
Let's
smell?
give it the sniff. Okay. Okay, so I'm definitely getting the bubble gum off of there.
Okay, is it like a fruity or sugary?
It's definitely fruity. So
Okay.
I'm going to pour up 2 cups. Roy,
Let's
do
see
you
what
wanna...
the color is.
Okay. It is okay.
So it's like a orangey.
It is orange, yeah. Give you that.
So is this like an orange soda?
I'm not really sure. It
smells like orange soda.
It might be like an
It
orange.
smells like Sunkissed.
All right, so there's that. I'll just go from the can. So yeah, it's orange in color. It's
There's a 6-pack.
there's some of here in the fridge. You're gonna stone cold it. So yeah, it definitely has that orange color, but it smells like Big Red or like a cream soda almost.
All right, so down the hatch. It started orangey, but I don't know how it finished.
It's
good.
It's good. It like sits in and I was trying to chew it a little bit to kind of get
It starts orange and finishes different. Ooh, I took too big of a gulp. Ooh, burp.
Let it out, man. It's morning radio. They love that stuff.
You know what? That's all right.
It's not bad.
I wouldn't drink it every day, but it's all right.
It's kind of hard to explain. It's like now, granted, this is full sugar, but it's only 62 calories full sugar. I want to turn his mic on, by the way.
Oh yeah, probably.
It's like it definitely starts off like a bubblegum flavor. And I think that was maybe that I got misled by that, but
yeah.
But then it finishes like citrusy. It's
I got the orange right off the bat, and then it got a little kind of creamy on the end.
Right. It doesn't say. It doesn't give you anything in the ingredients. Yeah, it's very candy.
Yes.
For the lack of calories that it is, it's actually very sweet.
It's a very candy fruit taste. You're right. It is very sweet. Like I would have never guessed that's got less sugar in it. I would have been like, dang, that thing's loaded.
Like Europe is more candy heavy, I think, than America.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm definitely a fan. Now, granted, I paid like 13 plus shipping for the 6-pack.
It ain't that good.
It ain't that but I've been dying to try it, so it was worth the get. I do have one other thing that's coming.
If I was Diddy bopping around Scotland and I saw that, I'd probably buy a can and drink it. Absolutely.
And now that you know what you're getting, yeah, for sure.
I wonder if they carry other flavors. Like, is that the flavor they carry?
I think that's.
Or is there other, like Coca-Cola has different Coke?
What's it called?
What's
it say on the
can?
Iron Brew, which made me think of a beer out of Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Iron
Brew, yeah. It's IRNBRU.
Okay.
If you think about how Scottish people talk, it's Iron Brew.
Yes.
So
I thought it was like Baltimore, like Earn.
This says Iron Brew has citrusy flavor with hints of orange and lemon and bubblegum. Says some people detect a bubblegum-like or fruity flavor, which adds to its uniqueness. But that's specifically just the one flavor they have.
Okay.
I think the company has other sodas, but that's the Iron Brew flavor.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, you know what? I like it.
Others detect hints of black currant, cordial, orange, and grapefruit.
I would know.
I don't know what a black
currant is if it smacked me in the face.
Right.
So I don't know what that tastes like or
That's
what that is.
Poor choice of words.
Black currants matter, all right?
All right, let's get our interview going. I
Yes.
do this all the time. We're going to play our interview we had with Peggy Bolin, talking Camp Invention, which is coming up June 3rd through the 7th at All Saints Catholic School. So we'll play that interview. But first, here's your weather and a quick commercial break. Then we'll play it on the other side. Don't go away.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. High pressure over the Four Corners covering our area. We'll be in the upper 70s, sunshine, and the wind should stay fairly light for now. Overnight will be clear with low 40s, warming up a little bit on Thursday, low 80s and sunny. We have a low pressure trough moving in on Friday. No rain with that, but it will be very windy. Afternoon high in the mid 80s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Get your tickets now as Red Zone presents A Night with C.J. Stroud, Saturday, April 13th at the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Previously announced as A Night with Jason Witten, Jason became unavailable, so C.J. Stroud stepped up to take his place. C.J. is the 2024 Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Houston Texans and two-time Heisman Trophy finalist. Admission is free, but you must have a ticket to enter. Jason Witten printed tickets are still good, and remaining tickets are available at the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. This invitation is courtesy of H.F. Sinclair. Excited about C.J. Stroud coming to Artesia.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward and Son Insurance Agency.
Edge Safety and Services, LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for roustabout crew and a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screening. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 2801 North Freeman in Artesia. Edge Safety and Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Believe it or not, your home insurance company isn't evil. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here. A lot of roofers make your insurance company out to be your enemy. They'll talk about fighting and battling your insurance to get you the claim you deserve. But honestly, your insurance company is a group of people just like you and me. That's why we don't treat your roof insurance claim like we're going to war. We treat it like a court case. We provide your insurance company every piece of evidence needed to get you the highest possible claim. We submit photos, videos, detailed documents, and line-by-line estimates. And guess what? Our non-combat approach works. On 92% of roof insurance claims, we get the highest amount the first time. And the rare times we don't, well then, that's when we go to bat for you. Call today for your 20% off coupon for our spring roof and gutter maintenance service. 575-755-ROOF or visit TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first. Artesia General Hospital's family practice providers support the healthcare needs of every member in your family, no matter their age. With locations in Artesia and Carlsbad, our compassionate experts offer a full range of primary services and can help manage chronic conditions, treat illness and injury, and coordinate specialty care. Whether you need a medical provider for your entire family or are getting on track with your annual checkup, we're here for you. Reach out today at artesiageneral.com/family.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suit's for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:29, and joining us in studio this morning, Peggy Boland back with us wearing her Camp Invention hat today.
That's right.
Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. For folks not familiar, like you said, this is 16 years now. You've been doing Camp Invention here in Roswell. And this is a camp that's available all over the country through the Inventors Hall of Fame. The folks that, when you talk about inventions and patents and all that kind of stuff, they're the ones that put the curriculum out for this Camp Invention. It's a week-long day camp for predominantly elementary school age kids that covers arts, STEM, science, and they get to do 4 different little projects where it's like toys and games for them, but they're really learning science and math and engineering and other ancillary skills like leadership and planning. And it's STEM, but it's STEM on steroids, if that makes sense a little bit. It's a little bit outside the STEM.
That's true.
It's STEM heavy, but it's bigger than STEM. It's bigger than that. And they do 4 projects. And the cool part about it is whether your kid's a first grader or a 5th grader, they're doing the same projects so that everyone feels included. Obviously, the level of what they're learning, they're teaching first graders something more appropriate for first grade, and the 5th graders get something more appropriate for 5th grade.
Correct.
But they're all working on the same projects and the same principles and everything. So it's a fun camp. The good news is you get to send the kids home for the day and then pick them up in the afternoon, and so you don't have to send them away for sleepovers or any of that stuff.
It's
a day camp.
It's a day camp.
And so you get to have them home with you at night for dinner, and you get to send them off to get tired during the day.
Which is awesome.
But
and they are tired when they're done with
camp. Because they're going from when they get there in the morning till when they leave at the end of the afternoon, they're pretty much busy that whole time. So
yes.
So but they should have lots of stories for you for dinner time to talk about what they did at camp that day, and it's a lot of fun. Now, new location this year.
Yes.
It's going to be taking place the first week of June 3rd through the 7th this year, and it's going to be at All Saints Catholic School there on Kentucky, which is
North Kentucky,
kind of right behind the hospital, Eastern there, if you know where that's at, right in that area. And so big thank you to All Saints for hosting the facility this year. And so good news is All Saints Catholic School's got plenty of classrooms and resources to put as many kids in there as we need to. So it's a good thing. So.
And again, we're not affiliated with All Saints Catholic School.
They're just being kind enough to allow us to use their facility. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole thing is through the whole Camp Invention, through the Inventors Hall of Fame.
National Inventors Hall of Fame.
This is all their curriculum, their program. Peggy's a volunteer with them that does the camp directing and doing all that stuff. She's been doing this camp for, like I said, 16 years now and doing all this stuff. So speaking of volunteers, they're always looking for more volunteers. If you'd like to serve as camp counselors, or if you have a child that's middle school aged, you can, I'm assuming they can do that again this year for the Leaders in Training.
They're $100 off
for
Leaders in Training.
And so it's kind of like the camp for them.
But they're learning leadership skills.
They also get a job, and they get to help the counselors, navigate, help work with the projects for the kids, help being, navigating kids around and getting, when you're funneling a bunch of kids, it's like herding cats sometimes. You need some wranglers to do all that. And so you help out with all that kind of stuff too.
Right.
But yeah, it's $100 knocked off the camp price here. And
for the Leaders in Training.
And you get special perks as being kind of a counselor in training kind of thing. But that's also available and that's 6th through 9th, I think it is.
Entering 7th through 9th.
7th through 9th. There
Entering
it is.
those grades.
And then
so anybody who's in middle school right now.
Gotcha.
That leader in training.
Gotcha. And then, of course, kindergarten through 6th grade is for the campers.
Entering kindergarten through 6th grade.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So they could be, if they're starting school here in the fall, all the way up through entering 6th grade here in the fall.
Correct.
They are eligible to
be a camper.
The regular part of the camp.
Right. And then the high school kids, anyone in high school now or college can be a leadership intern.
Yeah.
Those kids, I mean, it's a volunteer job, but it really looks good on a resume.
Yeah, this is good for their college applications.
It really is.
Or if they're
seeking a job later.
Starting that resume and putting some bullet points in that resume, because let's face it, most people out of college don't have a lot of experience to put on that resume.
Right.
And so things like volunteering at camps and things, that gives them a good indication of, your work ethic and what kind of skills you possess and all that kind of stuff.
Well, this part, my son did this for many years. He was a leadership intern. And it actually got him a teaching position.
Nice.
Because he had that on his resume. And it showed he's worked with
He's
kids.
got experience working in a classroom type setting. And
it also helped that he had a science background.
That
in college,
was also,
but,
I'm sure that was that got him in the door. The other part sealed the deal, basically.
Right. But the principal actually told him, because you worked at Camp Invention, that was one of the things that got you this job.
That was a highlight that
So I was like, sweet.
Absolutely. So that those opportunities are available for if you want to be an intern as well too.
Right.
Now if you've been to years past, like I said, this has been going on for 16 years. Each year the camp is different.
Totally different.
I mean, it's same style as the way your day goes.
True.
But as far as the activities and the projects you work on, each year they do 4 different modules every single year. And we got 4 new ones again for 2024 here. So let's talk a little bit about what some of the projects they're going to work on at this year's camp.
Okay. So one is called In the Game.
Okay.
And that's when campers team up as they investigate the science of sports ball design.
Okay.
And personalize a light-up game board, then add a unique logo and name.
Awesome. So they kind of get to learn a little bit about the physics of sports a little bit. And, of course, like I said, get to kind of make their own game and make, their own.
Right, they're inventing. There's
the
inventing a game.
Yeah, that's I love. Matter of fact, I remember doing like in gym class in elementary school, where they kind of said, "All right, here's a bunch of balls and pads and things. Make up a game." And this is very much in that same vein here, and that's very cool, and that's a lot of fun. I remember as a kid loving doing that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that one. That one's neat.
Yeah, that is cool. Plus,
and
here's another thing you don't realize. This helps with social skills because these kids, this is group activities. These kids are going to have to work together to come up with their games and all that. And so if you're looking to develop some of that side with your children, Camp Invention is going to help out greatly with it.
Right. And social skills are a big thing nowadays.
Problem solving, critical thinking, all of that. Camp Invention helps garner that kind of stuff.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one of them.
That's one of them. Another one's called Let's Glow.
Okay.
When they build a customized glow box, campers discover different forms of light, finding inspiration in illuminating inventions and animals that glow.
Cool.
So it's the box is really cool. It has different There's different ways it can glow.
Gotcha.
That
okay.
way.
Different ways that they can make it glow.
Right.
Cool.
I can't think sheets, but they're not sheets. They're like I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm dumb in this kind of stuff. But that does seem kind of cool because that's going to be something the kids want to keep and hold, and I can envision every one of them taking them to bed with night and put it on the shelf while they're
it's
falling
like
asleep,
a little
welcome the
nightlight.
glow. Yeah, absolutely. Every kid will love. That'll be. And I imagine because some of these projects they kind of show and tell, like when they go back to school in the fall, and it's like, what'd you do over the summer? And a lot of kids like to bring their projects in from Camp Invention.
Right.
So that'll be a good one to show and tell at class.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was so articulate with that one. Okay. Wow.
I wish I could help you, but I'm like, I don't know. The thing that makes it glow. I don't know. Glowy stuff.
Anyway, it's been a long day. Wow. Okay, next one is Operation Hydro Drop.
Okay.
To cultivate awareness of real-world water challenges, campers engineer a tiny house with crops to explore water-based technology and sustainable design thinking.
Oh, cool. So basically they're building an environment and using water as the source to make it go kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's really cute that they have a little tiny house and they have little crops.
That's cool.
So they get, they learn about environments and ecosystems.
Sounds like that's
and the whole
going to
thing.
touch on multiple things,
Mhm.
everything from growing and that kind of side to understanding what water can do and understand, you can even use it to power electricity and electricity is produced using water and stuff. And so I imagine they learned some of the basics of some of that through that particular module here.
That one seems like it's going to be, all of these seem really cool.
Yeah. Like I imagine there might be a few engineers that come out of that group, or architects and those kind of types. I think a few of those.
Let's get some design challenges in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the last one's called Prototyping Studio.
Okay.
Campers get creative as they transform their ideas from initial sketches to working prototypes using everyday items.
So basically, it's them taking a widget or a creation in their head and making it a real thing.
Right. And they make prototypes.
Yeah. That's cool. So it's kind of like this is like a kid's version of kind of like what the college had with the eye center and all that, where you come in and you want to create a widget or project that you can use their resource to help. This is like teaching your kids that level stuff. So if they're that inventors or they want to make the next product that we all can't live without, this is gonna kind of foster and garner those skills and those kinds of things and light that imagination up on them a little.
Right.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they're using everyday items, so there's your recyclables.
Yeah.
Yay.
Absolutely.
We've got
Plus, and it's back to critical thinking because in essence, there it's kind of like the if you ever seen the movie Apollo 13.
Yes.
There's a scene where they have to get the air scrubbers from the lunar module, but they only have the ones to fit from the capsule. And so basically they got to put a round peg in a square hole or vice versa here. And so using only the stuff that's in the ship, the engineers in NASA are basically taking duct tape and flashlights and everything and trying to make a filter that will fit the one thing to fit the other. And this seems very much in that same vein where it's that critical thinking that, all right, we got a problem or we got something. How do we make it do what we want it to do?
Exactly.
And this feels like this kind of fosters and sparks that side of things. So that's so cool. So really between the four modules, they're kind of a very broad scope of things that they're going to be learning in that week here. Everything from problem solving to game creating to using these tasks to solve problems and understand the concept of working as a team and working to overcome an obstacle together.
Right.
That's really cool. So
there's some really cool ones this year. I like these.
And like I said at the beginning, this is all garnered. So if your kid's a second grader, it's going to be geared towards them as a second. They're all doing the same thing. If they're a kindergarten or entering kindergarten here, same thing. It's gonna they're not gonna hit them with the fifth grade level stuff,
right?
Because that's a little bit too much for them to absorb. And here's the cool part: when you have your kindergartners, they can come back the next year. Like I said, you can keep coming back up until you're entering sixth grade here.
Right. I've had students who've done that.
Yeah, and so
from kindergarten on,
and because the program changes every year, it's a new camp every year. And so last year when you did some of the things, and hopefully there's a few of those kids that still have some of their projects and things. I know how kids are. We destroy everything. I own nothing from when I was a kid, but
right.
I get it, But there might be one or two of those kids that were more responsible and they put them on a shelf and still have them.
Right.
I am not one of those kids. But
right.
Yeah, like I had a bunch of cool Star Wars toys. It's probably worth money nowadays. Like I had the Death Star. I had all that stuff. It's all. Now you could buy that. I think if I sold that thing, you can get like $500-600 for that stupid thing.
It's crazy. That's true.
I was not that kid, but anyway. But again, this is going to be a fun thing. Again, it's June 3rd through June 7th. The camp will run from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. each day. There is extended hours available for an additional fee where you can drop your kid off as early as 7:30 and pick them up as late as 5:30.
Yes.
There is a now the cost for the entire camp is $285. If you order or sign up for the camp before May 15th, and I'll tell you how to do that here in a minute, you can save $15 if you enter a code in. What you're going to do is, and this is probably for everyone that's just getting to the camp, if you need a scholarship, we're going to tell you how to do this in a minute. But if you just want to sign up for the camp, not needing a scholarship, but you want to save a few bucks, go to invent.org. That is the website for Camp Invention, invent.org. And when you get there, at the top right-hand side of the page, there's a link that says Find a Camp Near You. Click that, and then you enter Roswell or 88201 or whatever, and then all the information for the Roswell camp will pop up, including the link to sign up and everything else. When you click that link and start filling out your application and all that, there's a spot where you can enter in a promo code. If you sign up before May 15th and type SUM15 in that code,
SUM,
they will knock $15 off your registration fee. Now, if
is that like a Happy Meal nowadays?
Yeah, right, well, yeah, exactly. You can get a Coke. but now, if you're thinking I'd love to do this, but even 15 knocked off is still a little bit too much. Thanks to the generosity of some local people that have made donations over the years and continue to do so, and can keep making, because there's a bank built up, of it. And so whatever money's not used from years previous, roll over to the next year. So we've already got a nest egg there. We could always use more money, because the more money we have, the more scholarships we can offer. In the past, Peggy has offered partial scholarships for folks that want it, need it. Because we want to make sure that you come and participate in the camp every day, they don't offer full scholarships. They want Peggy wants a little skin in the game from you guys. Want to make sure that you are truly, because we'd hate to give you a full ride to this and you never come to the camp.
Right.
That would be a waste. We want your kid to be there. We don't want money to be the hurdle that your kid doesn't get to do this. So she'll be very helpful on partial, depending on, talk to her about what you need and let her talk to you. But she wants you to pay something just to ensure that you are invested as well.
Right,
this.
exactly.
But if you do need that, you need to call Peggy direct. Do not go through the invent.org. They cannot do the local scholarship through there. It's all handled through Peggy. Peggy will call, or you call Peggy, she will set up, and then she will register you through her sources to get you registered, factoring in your scholarship here. So if you do need the scholarship, call Peggy direct, and you can do so by calling her 575-420-9955. Again, 575-420-9955. Or if you like to email P. Bolin, and that the letter P, BOHLIN, 2016, the date, 2016, at gmail.com. So P. Bolin 2016 at gmail.com. Send her an email through that link, and she'll get back to you on whatever we can do, or set up a phone call or whatever to talk to you about what she can do to help you. But sooner rather than later on that one, because the scholarship money is there till it's not there.
Right. And we are getting some more.
And the plan is getting some more. And so if there's people listening, maybe you're going to have kids that are old enough for camp, or too old for Camp Invention, or don't, they just don't fit the window, but you love and support and what the camp does. This is a great way. You say, hey, give whatever you can afford. We'll use that to help some of these kids go to camp for deeply discounted prices. So then of course, if you want the additional extended day hours, that's an additional $100 for that. But again, that allows you to bring your child in as early as 7:30 instead of 9, and they can stay as late as 5:30 as opposed to the 3:30. And trust me, the kids will be the camp is the camp during 9 to 3, but that extra time there
9 to 3:30.
Yeah, 9 to 3:30. I'm sorry. But but time before and time after, they're still doing stuff. It's extra fun activity. So it's not like babysitting. It is more camp. even though it's not part of the official camp, if that makes sense.
Right. And just side note, snacks are provided, but lunch is not.
Okay.
So the parents have to provide the lunch.
BYOL, bring your own lunch.
Right, but snacks are provided.
Good deal. So throughout the day, they'll have their cookie breaks or orange or drink breaks or whatever.
They'll have a snack.
Yeah, very good. Again, this is June 3rd through June 7th, and the cost is $285 for the entire camp. Invent.org is where you sign up.
Or just Google Camp Invention.
Yeah, if you don't remember that, just Google Camp Invention.
It'll come up.
But invent.org is pretty remember. I was like, invent.org, and I went right there, and I remembered, and it popped right up really easy. So, but please, the space there's only so many slots in the camp. So the earlier you sign up, the guarantee that your child will have a space in the camp here.
Right, and it's helpful when the parents call me as well and just talk to me about the camp. And
ask questions.
If you have if anybody has questions, I am willing to talk to you. I mean, I can talk to you, and we'll talk scholarship. We'll talk,
whatever help.
If there's multiple kids in the family, I've helped people with 3 kids in the family.
Yeah, we can do some of that too.
Right. I don't hesitate. I help as much as I can, and I can't really take off $100 for the extended daycare, but I can sure help with the tuition costs of the camp.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely make this something that you can work with if you call and work with Peggy here on
right.
this. The other things we too want to just kind of mention is that if you want to kind of learn, like we just talked about the 4 modules and everything, but if you go to invent.org, there is a video that kind of does a better job of explaining all the different, what modules, the camp is, the modules, and you can kind of have visuals and see. So if you kind of heard our explanations, you're like, I'm a little confused on what that is. There is a full video, and it's right when you go to the page to sign up, right next to it's the video that you can click on and watch, a YouTube video there that you can watch for this year's Camp Invention, talking about some of the different things they're going to be doing. And that way you'll have a clear sense of what your week of camp is going to be like for your child.
Right. It's a great website.
Absolutely. But again, new location this year, All Saints Catholic School on Kentucky. So if you've been to years past and you go to some of the other locations and wonder why it's kind of quiet, it's because it's all at All Saints. But a big thank you to All Saints for allowing them to open up their home for Camp Invention. Like you said earlier, this is not their program. This is they're just kind enough to let Camp Invention set up shop there for the week. But all of this is through the Inventors Hall of Fame, and it's all part of that their science and STEM programs and things like that. So, but trust me, it's 16 years of the camp here in Roswell, and there's a reason it's been around for 16 years because it's a good camp. It fills up every time.
Yes, it does.
It's very popular. That's why I'm telling you. I know June seems like a million miles away.
It's only 2 months away.
It's coming up
only
quick.
2 months away. I can't believe it.
Here this month, I would get your kids signed up and try to get it done here before May. That way, they're guaranteed a spot and everything else here. So good deal.
Right.
Is there anything we missed, Peggy?
Well, if they want to call Camp Invention, it's 800-968-4332.
Okay. And you can take your orders over the phone and do all that too if you don't like to do the internet stuff.
Because a lot of people don't want to put their credit card on the internet, and I get it.
Yep. And so if you prefer that way, you can call the 800 number. Again, it's 800-968-4332.
4332.
Or go to invent.org. There is a /camp. I think that directs you directly to the Find a Camp or whatever. But I just went to invent.org and clicked the Find a Camp Near You button at the top, and it takes you right there. So.
Right.
And like I said, watch the video. That way you can see exactly the what they're doing in these different modules and kind of all of what the day-to-day is like for your kids there at the camp and all that. So.
Right. And they do have time at the beginning of the day and the end of the day to kind of, group. They come back as a group.
Yeah.
And then they do have lunch and games.
Yeah.
So there's like a organized recess.
I mean, it's busy, but they do get downtime a little bit and everything. It's not like boot camp where they're, all right, move it, not doing that. It's at a leisurely pace.
But it is, think about pre-K 4s.
Yeah.
These kids are coming in as kindergartners, and we always have a good amount of them. I mean, like 14, 12, 14, which is great.
Yeah.
Because it's a smaller group and the same gal is going to be back.
Yeah.
To work
good.
With
So there'll be a little bit of familiarity there for some that have been to camp before.
Right.
And
right.
Like that,
and a lot of the same teachers are going to be there.
Well,
so
good.
Right. So
well, big thank you to them for volunteering their time to do all this stuff
yes.
and do all that. That's really cool. The camp would not happen without those folks doing that. So we're very appreciative of them.
Right. And the 285 covers, you should see the amount of boxes I get. It's
you get
40 boxes.
You get a lot
of materials.
of stuff, even the education, but there's things they take home. There's tangible things that they can see and get for their money, and I mean, other than the fact that they just learned a whole bunch of cool stuff,
Exactly.
They actually have a toy, a widget, something that they could
right,
take
which
from
is
it
nice.
and show, yeah,
and they get to take home 4 things. This
yeah,
year.
4
one
actually,
for a module.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's trust me, watch the video, do your homework, go to event.org, and you'll really see that there's a reason why this camp's been going on for as long as it has, and it's a well-oiled machine at this point.
Right, it's only 16 years in Roswell. It's been going on for.
I'm about to say, it's been a lot longer
30
than
years
that,
or
but
something.
here in Roswell, 16 years.
Right,
yeah.
right.
And it's and by the way, if you have friends and family outside of the Roswell area, tell them to go to event.org. There may just be a camp near them. Like I said, there's camps there's only one in New Mexico that I know. Is there more than one in New Mexico now?
There's, I want to say 3 more.
Oh, good.
I know Albuquerque has one.
Because I remember for a while you were the only one in town, weren't you there for a while?
Only one in the southeast area.
In southeast, okay.
Right.
Rest is up north.
Yes.
But
yes.
But yeah, and so odds are there's probably one within relatively closeness, depending on where they live, obviously, near them. So.
Well, we've had grandparents have their grandchildren come to town the week of camp, and then
that makes sense
then
too.
They might
this
be
is the
from
week you
Texas.
visit grandma and grandpa.
Right.
Yeah,
they might be in
sense.
Texas, but they're coming to town, and so the grandparents sign them up.
I remember my grandparents lived in upstate New York, and so I'd go for the 2 weeks during the summer, and they did the same thing. It wasn't Camp Invention, but it was like a day camp thing they had up there.
Right, which is perfect because if the grandparents are still working or something.
And just face it, your grandparents, they love you and want to hang out with you, but sometimes they need a break from you. So they're going to send you to
Right.
I get it. It's like, you guys went way too fast for me. I got to slow down a minute. Hold on. So it gets grandma and grandpa to break a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So it's a great camp, and I hope that a lot of people sign up this year. They can call me without a problem. I'm willing to talk to them.
Yeah.
Scholarship money. I'm, looking for, of course, the leadership interns, the leaders in training, that kind of thing, and the campers, of course.
Absolutely. So please.
And we have a lot. We have some that have been there before already signing up, and the new ones are already signing up too.
Good.
So,
That's always a good thing. Yeah, you'll see the repeats because the camp speaks for itself. They do the camp,
exactly.
and they've been there and done it. They know exactly what they're getting into, and they're ready for.
And
the
they're
next
excited.
year.
They want to come back.
Yeah, and like if your kid gets in as entering kindergarten or first grade, they could be doing this for the next half dozen years.
Yes, that's true.
That's really cool. So and so they get to grow with it as they go too. So invent.org. Or you can call 800-968-4332 to sign up through Camp Invention, through the Inventors Hall
to
of
save
Fame.
$15.
And don't forget, some 15 is, I almost did the band, some 41. Some 15 is offer code SUM15. Put that in the code when you sign up online, and you'll save $15 off the fee. If you need a partial scholarship, do not go through invent.org. Call or contact Peggy directly. You can do so by emailing her, pbolin2016@gmail.com, or calling 575-420-9955 and talk with her. Do not sign up through the invent.org if you need a scholarship. That's strictly done locally through Peggy here. And then, of course, if you want to donate money, call or reach out to Peggy direct. And if you're here and say, yeah, I'd like to give you a couple $100 for scholarships.
Any amount.
Whatever you got. $5, $500, $5,000, whatever it is, we take it. Every bid helps. And so just reach out that way. And we'll be happy to get you taken care of.
And if they call the 1-800 number, and let's say they have 3 children and they don't need scholarship money per se, there are additional discounts for multiple children.
Excellent.
So they would just call the 1-800 number and ask, or they can call me and I can find it.
Yeah, so if you got 2-3 kids to have at the camp for a week, we can save you a little money doing that.
Right, if you don't need an actual scholarship.
Yeah.
But you'd like a discount because Happy Meals are very expensive now.
Hey, you're absolutely right. You can't do anything without dropping 20 on something.
Jesus.
So,
yeah.
Well, good deal. Well, thank you as always, Peggy, and we'll see you next time.
All right, sounds good.
All right, it is 9:58. Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
The Roswell Museum is announcing the new exhibition Regenerative Actions, a first-of-its-kind collaboration with the Santa Fe Art Institute. The exhibition will include the work of regionally based SFAI resident artists. It'll be on view April 20th through October 13th in the Roswell Museum's Russell Vernon Hunter Gallery. An opening reception is scheduled for Friday, April 19th. SFAI's 2023 residency theme was Changing Climate. A regenerative action is a gesture, movement, or effort to achieve a reversal of human-led environmental destruction through adaptive strategies of regrowth and revival, engendering a renewed existence of all species on the planet. Yet another scam warning going out, this time from the Eddy County Sheriff's Office, who says someone is claiming to be Sergeant Jason Decker. People report getting calls telling them that there is a warrant out for their arrest. Of course, they demand money immediately. The Eddy County Sheriff's Office does not operate in this manner. So remember, anyone who demands payment immediately, especially through gift cards, is usually always a scam. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. A lot of baseball action yesterday for Roswell and Goddard High Schools. Goddard split a pair at home against Clovis, losing the first one by a score 4-2, but bouncing back to shut out Clovis 2-0 in the nightcap. Michael Matheson, a complete game shutout for the Rockets. Cinco Holloway and Ryan Alsop both had doubles in the nightcap. Goddard is now 8-5 on the season. Roswell, meanwhile, plays at home too, but loses a pair to El Dorado 16-8 in the first game. Eli Lynn for the Coyotes 3 for 3 with a double and 3 RBIs. Jackson McDonald 2 for 4 with 2 doubles and an RBI. And then the nightcap, Roswell falls to the visiting Eagles 7-0. Roswell is 7-6 overall. And in softball, Roswell loses barely at home to Lovington 9-8. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. High pressure over the four corners covering our area. We'll be in the upper 70s, sunshine, and the wind should stay fairly light for now. Overnight will be clear with low 40s, warming up a little bit on Thursday, low 80s and sunny. We have a low pressure trough moving in on Friday. No rain with that, but it will be very windy. Afternoon high in the mid 80s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Wall Street's second quarter already a struggle. More key jobs data today. Tesla dragging the EV sector. And economic concerns fueling yesterday's market sell-off. The Dow Jones Industrials fell nearly 400 points. The S&P down 37, the Nasdaq down more than 150. Investors losing confidence that the Fed will cut rates in June. The March ADP employment update this morning, the private sector expected to have added 155,000 jobs in March, up from 140,000 in February. And after yesterday's JOLTS report showing openings holding steady. Rivian beat quarterly delivery targets, but the stock still fell 5%. Levi Strauss & Company headlining retailers. The stock slipping ahead of today's quarterly earnings, down nearly 8% in yesterday's session. Revenue expected to be down more than 9%. Levi Strauss reports after the closing bell. Honeywell considering selling its personal protective equipment unit. Bloomberg reports the deal would be worth $2 billion. Demand for PPE products surging during COVID, but declining drastically since then. Honeywell stock down about 4% this year. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt, yeah!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure they'll get you your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt, yeah!
Switch to Jackson Hewitt and we'll beat what you paid last year, even if you filed online.
Yeah!
Ain't nothing to it. Switch to Jackson Hewitt and pay less for tax prep, guaranteed. Proof of prior year payment required when filing. New clients only at participating locations through April 7th. Terms at jacksonhewitt.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
St. Louis brought the world gooey butter cake. Now Bluebell brings us gooey butter cake ice cream. A cake batter ice cream with a luscious cream cheese swirl and gooey butter cake pieces. It's the gateway to the best in pints and half gallons.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at Walmart Supercenters.
The Clovis Music Festival is back from April 18th through the 20th, and it's bigger than ever. 3 epic nights of bands and entertainment await you at the Curry County Event Center. Starting Thursday at 7 p.m., immerse yourself in the Pink Floyd Laser Spectacular. Followed up Friday night at 7 with Mickey and the Motorcars. Followed by country sensation Kip Moore. Don't miss Bowling for Soup Saturday at 7 p.m., followed by the legendary Gin Blossoms. Secure your tickets now at clovismusicfestival.com/tickets and be part of the excitement. The Clovis Music Festival 2024, brought to you in part by the City of Clovis Lodgers Tax. Don't miss out on the music event of the year.
April 8th is National Line Worker Appreciation Day. Central Valley Electric Cooperative's linemen work hard to keep the lights on and often do not receive the recognition they deserve. Being a lineman is not a glamorous profession. Most of us can ride out a storm from the comfort and convenience of our home. However, CVE line workers are on call 24/7 in case severe storms or other circumstances cause the power to go out. If you see any lineman, please take the time to say thank you to the power behind your power. CVE would like to thank all line workers for their courage and commitment to powering our communities, not just on Line Worker Appreciation Day, but every day.
Whether you're a homeowner, a landscaper, or a contractor, we all have reasons to dig. If you're planning to dig, this is just a friendly reminder that locating underground utilities is important. It's actually the law. Call 811 3 days before you dig. New Mexico Gas Company is one of the utilities that will come out free of charge to mark our underground lines up to the meter, so you'll know what's below. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
Attention high school students and parents of high school students. Do you want to visit Eastern New Mexico University from the comfort of your own home? Then plan on attending the ENMU Virtual Open House on Saturday, April 20th, starting at 10 a.m. You can get a virtual tour of campus, talk virtually with current students, and win great prizes. Sign up today at enmu.edu/open house. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. Closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up here in just a few seconds. Stay tuned next hour. We're about 9:15 or so. We're going to play our interview with Rick Lamb, Chaves County Health Council, talking about the Veterans event on Saturday and an update on Boys and Girls Club. So that's coming up next hour. We'll also get you up to date on all the others. Oh, by the way, if you got Vitalant appointment with the Blood Mobile today, the Blood Mobiles broke down. So they're doing the appointment, but it's at the Vitalant office. So you have to go there today. Don't go to the chamber where the Blood Mobile is supposed to be. It's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
The bodies of the aid workers killed by an Israeli airstrike in Gaza have been moved to Egypt, and from there they'll be returned to their home countries. Israel says the strike was a tragic mistake, a result of misidentification, according to the Israeli military chief. And the Biden administration demands transparency from Israel as it investigates.
National Security spokesman John Kirby said the White House was outraged over the incident and is awaiting the findings of an Israeli
orderly investigation.
And our expectation is, and we've made this clear to them, that they'll come clean about what they've learned. They'll be fully transparent, and if people need to be held accountable, that they'll be held accountable.
Despite growing criticism over Israel's handling of the war in Gaza, Kirby said the U.S. supports Israel, which he said continues to face a viable threat from Hamas. Greg Clugston, the White House.
At a magnitude 7.4, the earthquake that struck Taiwan is the most powerful to hit the island nation in 25 years. The BBC's Rupert Wingfield Hayes in Taipei says at least 9 people have been killed, hundreds injured.
Those appear to have come from landslides which have been unleashed right along the east coast of Taiwan. The difference between here in Taipei and the west coast of Taiwan and the east of the island is dramatic. It's very rugged over there, it's very mountainous, there are narrow valleys, and the mountains come down right into the Pacific Ocean. And this quake has unleashed many, many landslides that have cut roads, that have brought down bridges, and we think have also buried some people.
Tens of thousands of American homes and businesses without power this morning, a result of severe weather. It pummeled the Ohio River Valley and parts of the southeast. Anytime, any place, the words of former President Trump, issuing a challenge to President Biden to debate. On Wall Street, stocks in positive territory now. The Dow is up 84 points, the Nasdaq 90 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
British counterterrorism police investigating the stabbing of a journalist who works for a TV channel critical of the Iranian government says 3 suspects fled the country within hours of the attack.
We spoke to eyewitnesses who described people running away in dark clothing and somebody driving them off in a car. We know the police would have had access to the number plate because that was given to them by an eyewitness. The Met's counter-terrorism command has said this was an attack involving 2 men in this residential street, and they tracked these suspects to Heathrow Airport, where they left the country. Now, of course, at some point a passport in somebody's name would have been used, so they do say we have identified suspects. What they haven't said is what the motive for this attack was.
The BBC's Tom Simon says the victim survived and is now out of the hospital. Inflation in Europe has tumbled more than expected, falling to 2.4%, clearing the way for a potential interest rate cut. News and analysis, townhall.com. Lawsuit's been filed in a bid to outlaw menthol cigarettes.
Anti-smoking groups have sued the government over a long-awaited ban on menthol cigarette. The ban has been idling at the White House for months. Menthols are disproportionately used by black smokers and young people. The lawsuit comes amid growing concerns from advocates that the federal plan could be derailed by election year politics. The Food and Drug Administration estimates the ban could prevent 300,000 to 650,000 smoking deaths over several decades. Menthol is the only cigarette flavor that was not banned under the 2009 law that gave the FDA authority over tobacco products. I'm Norman Hall.
Uganda's constitutional court has upheld a law that allows a death penalty for what's described as aggravated homosexuality. It defines that as cases involving a minor and other categories of vulnerable people or when the perpetrator is HIV positive. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace and Piernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes, indeedly, doodly doodly.
You know, I saw something online that sparked a question. It was one of these opinion, like what's the greatest album of all time? Those kinds of questions. This one was a question. What band or music group or artist had an album that their second album was bigger than their first?
Was bigger than their first or better than their first?
Better than their first.
Okay.
Better.
Because better.
I mean, better is what they do.
Okay. And again, that's a subjective question.
Yes.
So that's a tough one.
Well, and the example they used was like Stone Temple Pilots or something. Nirvana would be one I argue right off the gate.
Blink 182.
Yeah.
This chair is
because if you look at Nirvana, now people argue they like Bleach, but let's face it, no one heard of Nirvana until Nevermind came out.
Yeah, that's true.
Bleach, they were no one knew about them. Nevermind came out, smells like. So to me, that's the quintessential answer to that question.
Yeah, Blink was like that too, because Dude Ranch was, I think, their second album, and that was just objectively better than their first.
It got me thinking in my own world, in my own musical tastes. And I'm going to upset a few Metallica fans. I would argue Metallica is one of those bands.
Yeah?
Kill 'Em All is a good album. It's an awesome album. Love it.
Right.
But Ride the Lightning, their second album, is a masterpiece.
Sure.
That's the one that's got Fade to Black, which is one of their most iconic songs. It's got, to this day, Creeping Death. That song is 30 years old. And they pretty much play it at every one of their concerts because it's just, it hits you. Right. You know what I mean?
It smacks you in the feels.
And so I would argue Metallica is one of those bands that their second album is better than their first. I would make that argument.
Was Justice third or fourth?
Justice was their fourth album.
Okay, fourth.
Because after Lightning was Puppets.
I would argue that,
and that's a great album.
That is maybe their Puppets is also great, but I would argue that Justice is maybe my favorite.
Well, and Justice is their most controversial of the. I mean, and what I mean by
it's when they started getting a little bit,
Well, no, it's
political.
Why it's controversial is because, and this is way nerdy now, and I didn't mean to go this nerdy. I apologize. Cliff Burton died. Their bass player died while they were touring for Master Puppets in Europe in a bus crash.
Right.
Cliff Burton was a very instrumental part of how Metallica sounds and does, and especially the early stuff. That's very heavy Cliff Burton. They've evolved, and they're still Cliff influences, but it's evolved more into James and Lars's.
Sure.
But anyway, so Justice for All was their first album with Jason Newsted, their next bass player.
Right.
If you ever study or watch documentaries on the history, they mourned Cliff Burton's loss pretty heavy. And they basically took it out on Jason.
Right.
Jason
he never had a chance.
Jason was the new guy that got ridiculed, he was treated like not really a member of the band compared to the others.
He was new stepdad. You're not my real dad, basically.
And one of the things that Metallica did during that time was if you listen to the original release of the Justice and Justice for All album, and even if you buy it today, they've done digitally remastered ones and they sound slightly different. But if you look at every single song on that, they turned the bass way down. You could barely hear the bass in every one of the Justice songs. They're great songs,
but there's not a lot of bass.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
Because they turned, and there's, Jason did incredible bass lines on all of those songs.
Mm-hmm.
You barely hear them because the way they mixed the music. And so, so that's the album that people love it, but they also crap on it because of its lack of bass.
Right.
So, but anyway.
I didn't, maybe that's why it hit my ear.
Now,
different.
People have talked less about that now because the album Some Kind of Monster and the whole Saint Anger album came out.
Stanger.
And that is universally panned as one of the most hated albums in the Metallica, even more so than Load and Reload.
But can I say they did something that was kind of interesting with Saint Anger?
Oh, I like Saint Anger. I like it.
The version of Saint Anger that I had, the album that I had, was a 2-disc album. And the second disc, I think you might have had this one too, because we got it from the radio station. The second disc was the videos.
Yeah.
All the videos, or was not even videos, it was them just in a soundstage performing every one of the songs on the album.
And the reason why people hate that album is because they've produced it in a way that, like, Lars's drums are like they've loosened some of the thing on the kit, so it gives this reverb on it.
Well, didn't he actually play? He played a garbage can for one of those songs, right?
Maybe, I think so.
I think it was actually for Saint Anger.
So the percussion in that people don't like because it don't sound like drums per se. I'm not a musician, so I don't know exactly what they did, but something about loosening screws or something on the drum to give it a reverbery sound or something. I don't know.
It definitely had more of a. You know what I would compare it to is kind of a late. Well, no, I shouldn't say late. Kind of a In Your Honor era Foo Fighters drum. That loose snare, that tat 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 tat.
Yeah, the whole album's like that.
Because if you listen to like Saint Anger, specifically that title track, and then you go back and listen to like that specific was it Monkey Wrench? That specific Foo Fighters song.
Yeah, I know.
It's got that same loose snare sound.
Inner Honor was the name of the song?
That was the album.
But I think that might have been the song.
No, the song was that's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah.
It was like the title track off that album.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't mean to go on a rabbit hole. I was just that whole second album thing was kind of curious.
I would actually argue that most bands there is the argument that when you put your first album out, you've had 20 years to write that album, and you only have 2 to write your next.
Yeah.
But I would argue that as bands have improved, their albums have gotten like better. I hate to bring up him as a person, but Kanye West, his second album was monumentally more well received than his first.
Gotcha. Yeah. But I just thought it was an interesting thing to think about for a minute. You know, I was like, that's kind of neat. So let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show.
Yes.
Sorry, I was still thinking about the music bands because I was thinking, what about like some of those Motley Crue, Skid Row? Because Skid Row, their first album was amazing. The second album stunk. Slave to the Grind. Now, it didn't stink. It was not nearly as good.
Right.
Like Skid Row, that first album that had 18 in Life and Youth Gone Wild and all the ones that
and again, they had, decades to write that first album.
And then the next album, Slave to the Grind, I think it had 1, maybe 2 songs that got radio play. And it sounded like Skid Row. It just didn't resonate the way the first album did. So, but anyway, moving on. Let me give you the rundown here. We'll get you up to date with the weather and all that here in just a bit. Then we're going to play our interview. Rick Lamb, wearing 2 hats. But first is Chaves County Health Council at, and we're talking about the Veterans brainstorming event that's happening this Saturday at American Legion Post 28. We also talk an update with Boys and Girls Club, and if you're looking for opportunities for your family, they're expanding into middle school now with Boys and Girls Club and everything else too. So big news there too. Then we'll do news of the local variety, Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come. That's another thing that annoys my wife when I say news is. She's like, you say words like procure, and then you go news is right after that. It's like, you've known me for 20 plus years. I've done this in every circle of my life.
Right.
That's how I talk. I use big words and then I butcher little words.
It's now you guys are hitting that point where even the little things are starting to become big things.
It was just funny she said it.
Has she ever heard you say variety? You might actually have to get a divorce after that one.
Yeah. So anyway, 9:15. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. High pressure over the Four Corners covering our area will be in the upper 70s, sunshine, and the wind should stay fairly light for now. Overnight will be clear with low 40s, warming up a little bit on Thursday, low 80s and sunny. We have a low pressure trough moving in on Friday. No rain with that, but it will be very windy. Afternoon high in the mid 80s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 47 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 54%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 5 miles per hour. Sunny today and 76 are expected high. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 miles per hour. They do say they will shift to the east later this afternoon. So pretty nice day for us. Tonight, skies will be clear. Expect an overnight low of 42 degrees. East winds at around 5 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 83 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 10 in the morning. Out of the south 10 to 15 for Thursday afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 45 degrees. South winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. They'll drop down 5 to 10 after midnight. Friday, windy and warm. Sunny with a high of 83, but the winds will be out of the south early 5 to 15 miles per hour. As the day progresses, winds will increase 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour by Friday afternoon. Friday night, clear, overnight low of 49 degrees. Winds will be breezy. That's going to bring in cooler temps for Saturday. Sunny and breezy with a high of 67. Clear Saturday night with an overnight low of 39, breezy. And then Sunday, sunny and 73. 76 on Monday. And then 20% chance of rain Tuesday for next week's what they're saying right now. We'll see if that turns into something bigger or just dissipates, which my guess it'll be the latter. All right, 9:17. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break, and we're going to play our interview with Rick Lamb, talking Chaves County Health Council and Boys and Girls Club. Don't go away.
Get your tickets now as Red Zone presents A Night with C.J. Stroud, Saturday, April 13th at the Bulldog Pit in Artesia. Previously announced as A Night with Jason Witten, Jason became unavailable, so C.J. Stroud stepped up to take his place. C.J. is the 2024 Offensive Rookie of the Year with the Houston Texans and two-time Heisman Trophy finalist. Admission is free, but you must have a ticket to enter. Jason Witten printed tickets are still good, and remaining tickets are available at the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. This invitation is courtesy of H.F. Sinclair. Excited about C.J. Stroud coming to Artesia.
The need to grow past our basic capabilities and experience the impossible will forever keep aviation technology evolving. Within the Aviation Maintenance Technology program at ENMU Roswell, students thrive knowing that the faculty and community are supporting their success. ENMU Roswell is dedicated to empowering students through hands-on skills training in a nurturing environment. To learn more, contact us today.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra proudly presents Pines of Rome, Saturday, April 27th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell, featuring guest soloist Ariel Horowitz. You're invited to the pre-concert event at 6 p.m. at the Daniels Leadership Center, featuring special guest Dr. Jim Shearer. Tickets and more information at roswellsymphony.org or call 575-623-5882. Sponsored by Sarah and Robert Armstrong, New Mexico Arts, Pioneer Bank, Pepsi, and KOBR TV8. Ad paid for by Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Artesia, it's back. Red Zone 2024 is coming Saturday, April 13th to the Bulldog Pit, featuring A Night with 2024 Rookie of the Year and two-time Heisman Trophy finalist C.J. Stroud. Doors open at 6 p.m. Event begins at 7. Tickets are free of charge, but you must have one to enter. Free tickets can be picked up beforehand at the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. Red Zone 2024 featuring C.J. Stroud is a presentation of myashley.org. For free tickets and more information about Red Zone 2024, please contact the Artesia Chamber of Commerce.
Plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else. Or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
Would be a handy skill to have. Good morning. It is 27 minutes. You never know. That comes in handy. It's 27 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, actually wearing a couple hats this morning.
That's right.
His Chaves County Health Council hat and his Boys and Girls Club hat here. Rick Lamb back with us. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing good. How about yourself?
It's another beautiful day.
It is. Hopefully the wind will, we can use the rain. I'll never take away the rain, but we don't need the wind and everything else that goes with it.
Well, it's just the annual migration of dirt from New Mexico to Texas.
That's right.
So we've got to make sure that it gets over there safely.
Dirt trading days.
That's right. Exactly.
But for folks not familiar, of course, we've been on multiple times just promoting everything that goes on in Boys and Girls Club here for I say Roswell, but really kind of covers southeast New Mexico here. We kind of focus more on some of the stuff here in the Roswell, but really it all, Ruidoso, Eddy County, it kind of covers it all there. So, and then, of course, a health council as well. For folks, if you're not familiar, the Chaves County Health Council is an organization that anything really healthcare related for Roswell, probably the biggest tentpole things you know them for is the 211 hotline, which is a hotline that you can call here if you live in Chaves County. And it's not an emergency hotline. So if you got a medical emergency, call 911. Yes. But if you're new to town or you're just looking for resources for healthcare or resources to the Department of Health, or if you need like WIC or any of these kind of assistance, or if you have family members on the spectrum and you're looking for healthcare options for them here, 211 is a hotline number that you can call and get those kind of resources, questions answered. It's not a 24/7 hotline, so please don't call at 2 a.m. Joanne will get a little salty. But during like business hours and things, you can call and help there. Other big thing that most people know the Health Council for is the big annual back to school health fair they always do right around back to school time in August here, which they'll be doing again here in a couple months and all that. But there's a lot going on in between those times too, that we want to go talk about. One of the ones we really want to kind of put on people's radar here is there's a forum for everyone really, but particularly for veterans as you guys as a health council are trying to gather and learn more resources and try to basically let's get a bunch of people together in the room and let's find let's see if we can find additional resources, learn from each other on what is available for veterans in really our community and things like that. What we're missing, what we need, what we could use more of. It's really, and what we already have that maybe people don't know we have already. So it's really a combination of all that. So give the details on the dates and times and all that good stuff.
So the SWOT analysis, which for people who don't know, SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
There you go. Okay.
So strengths and weaknesses, that's in Chaves County. So what are the strengths of Chaves County? What do we offer veterans? What don't we offer veterans? Where are our weaknesses at? And then outside of Chaves County, of course, is opportunities and threats. And once again, what are those opportunities that help us here? But what are those threats that could potentially hurt us in the process as well?
Sure.
So this is going on April 6th. So it's literally this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's 11:30 to 2 p.m. and it's over at American Legion Post 28 over on Montana.
Yes, absolutely. And the cool part is you really don't have excuses for not going. Like if you need childcare, things like that, they're going to have some people available to do that. There's food and beverage if you'd like to have that involved. But they do ask you RSVP so they can have enough food and everything. But I don't think there's a cost or anything. Is
no,
there?
There's absolutely no cost for anybody. Everything is free, including childcare. And basically, we just ask jump onto our Facebook page, Chaves County Together with Veterans, and real quickly just sign up.
Yeah.
Once you sign up, it just gives us a number of who's actually going to be there.
Absolutely, but it's really come for the camaraderie and the food and all that. But really, we want to learn, and we also want you to learn. So it really is a brainstorming session. Like you said, we're covering these different points here, but we're trying to. It's an information gathering. What we know that we can present, what we don't know that maybe we can learn more about, and see the real holes in gaps in what services are being provided and things like that. And this really, that's kind of what this event is all about is learning and giving and receiving information on for particularly veteran issues and resources for veterans. And that's what this is all about.
Correct. And you don't have to be a veteran to come. The big thing is, do you care about the veterans that we have in Chavez County? And do you want to find a way to help them? This is a great way to be able to do that, so that we can find out what are those things that veterans need around here. One thing that Together with Veterans does, they took it over from the Health Council. If you're a veteran, you actually get to ride the shuttle in Roswell for free.
Oh, nice.
All you need to do is have an ID that shows that you're
Proof
a
of veteran status.
or DD-214, one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Free rides, doesn't matter.
For a tip for veterans out there, because I'm about to do this my next time my driver's license gets renewed, if you bring your DD-214 with you when you do your driver's license renewal, they can put a veteran status on your driver's license, and basically it puts a V on there. And that serves as a veteran's ID. They have to accept it when you show it as proof of veteran status. That is an acceptable form. They have to accept it by law because of, it's a driver's license.
Yeah. What it says on there is correct.
Yeah. So, but next time you need, or if you want to, don't want to wait, get your driver's license renewed. Bring your DD-214 with you. And you can get that veteran status. Same thing if you want to get veterans plates or whatever. Like I have those in my car, but same kind of process. You bring your DD-214 with you to the DMV or MVD in this case for New Mexico, and you can get that done too. But that way you have something, because I know some people, like if you're a retiree, you got a veterans retiree card. But if you just served 4 years or whatever, you're a veteran. But you really, because you've separated, you don't really have a need to be on a base or anything, so there's no other than your actual DD-214, and no one really carries that around with them all the time because they're a very valuable document. Once they're lost, they're hard to replace, and so they really put the fear of God in veterans on DD-214.
They really do, don't they?
Yeah, they do, because they make it sound like if you lose it, good luck getting another one.
It is definitely a difficult process, that's for certain.
So, but just a tip for veterans out there, make copies of that and keep. That's what I do. I have about 15 copies I keep in my important paper drawers and stuff like that, because you never know. Anytime, especially if you're applying for loans and things like that, you never know when you need to bust out a copy of that thing. But definitely keep that, get that. That's just a tip I recommend it. And another thing too, if you need to talk to the county clerk's office, if you're a resident of Chavez County and you're a veteran, you can get the discount on your property taxes.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of filling out a form and turning it into the clerk's office, and you're good to go. So
see, that's something I didn't know. There's a good way to save some money.
Yeah, exactly. So this is the kind of stuff you can learn at the event for veterans. And then stuff too, if you offer, like maybe you have resources for veterans that isn't on the radar of the public or anything. This is what this is for, is it's a resource for veterans to learn and to give information, and for the people that provide these services to learn and to gather information. It's really a community. It's like, hey, how are we doing? What are we doing wrong? What are we doing right? What can we do better? What are we doing good at? That's what this meeting's all about, is to kind of say, all right, what's our issues? What's our threats? What's our weaknesses? What's our strengths? And let's make all of them better.
Well, and it really comes down to, how do we prevent veteran suicide? It's getting worse and worse. It's on the rise. And this is a great way for us to be able to find out how we can do that more.
Absolutely. The standard number for a long time was 22 a day. And I don't know officially yet, but
still about the same.
That number is not declining. It's going closer to 23 than 21. Yeah. So it's all about resource, and veterans are a unique group in this type of thing, because, and I'm not saying every single veteran's one of these, but it's not uncommon to see veterans as more of the stubborn, self-sufficient type people that generally aren't receptive of help. You literally have to beat that over their head before they finally say, fine, I'll take your help. I'm not saying every veteran's like this, but just because the nature of what a veteran, the training that they were given, the type of work they did while serving in the military, there's certain ways that you cope and deal with those types of things, and it creates a personality for veterans sometimes. Yeah. So when veterans are very much, and again, I'm just lumping as a general, not everyone's like this, but generally speaking, stereotyping here. Veterans are stubborn people that generally do not like help. Like they're people that I can do it myself. I got it. I've been trained. I can take care of it. Because military people by training are being the protectors, the ones that do the things for us that cannot do it themselves.
Yep.
That's part of military mindset. So for a military member to accept help in their head also accepts that they're vulnerable. And therefore they don't want that out in the public. And so that's why they're a little more stubborn. But once you crack through that armor a little bit, then you'll see that they're humans just like everybody else. But it's a little harder to get them there sometimes. So
it really is.
That's why meetings like this are so important. And we always say, all right, better. I get it. Yeah, I know I've chewed some of the same dirt you have. I get what you're thinking, but this ain't like that.
Yeah.
Suck it up and let's do it. And veterans need that sometimes.
Yes, it's true. We need a little bit more straightforward, that's for certain.
So I want to highly recommend, so if you know veterans and encourage them to come, bring them with you to this meeting. Yeah. Come and have lunch. It is American Legion. If those 21 and older want to enjoy adult beverage, you can do that too while you're there as well. But
and the nice thing is we're going to give you 2 for free.
Oh, nice.
So if you're 21 or older, you're going to get 1 at the beginning.
Nice.
And then once you finish the whole analysis part, we're going to give you another one.
All right.
That little incentive to stick around for the
Just
whole
start
process.
with veterans free beer. Come on up. It's like, what's the rest of it? I don't know. He said free beer. Let's go. But so for those obviously 21 and older and all that, but please come out and come. Think of this as really just it's a brainstorming session. Yep. It's a forum of talking, and we want you to share your information, and likewise we want to give you some too.
That's right.
Please make plans to attend. Make it a social thing. Come and get a meal. Bring your buddies, bring your Army buddies or your friends from the neighborhood. And like you said earlier, you don't have to be a veteran or any associated veterans if you just have an interest in this type of stuff, or maybe, and here's the thing about veterans. It's like cancer. You all know a veteran, whether it's a family member or you yourself or, and so I'm sure there's loved ones that you want to see, do better and have better things, and if you want to support that, then come to this meeting.
Exactly.
And especially if you have the veterans in your family, that was kind of like what I was talking about earlier. It's like, oh, that's stupid. You know what I mean? That the glass half empty mindset.
They're the salty ones.
Yes, they're super salty. You can be a little bit of a Sherpa for them on that
exactly
kind of stuff. So. But again, that's coming up this Saturday. At American Legion Post 28 there on Montana. I don't remember the actual address. It's
1620 North Montana.
There it is. That's you can't miss it. It's right there. If you go, depending on where you're coming from, it's not too far from the adult center and all that stuff.
No,
it's all right
really
in
close.
that same little stretch of road there, and so you can't. And that's pretty much all that's out there. A few houses, open field, and then there's American Legion. There's the adult center, and it's kind of hard to
it really
pass
is a little hard to miss.
But once you're there and come and enjoy. What time's everything getting underway on Saturday?
Starts at 11:30 and it goes till 2.
Good deal. So get there a few minutes before 11:30 to get you a good spot and smell out the vittles and all that good stuff.
Taco truck.
Yeah. Ooh, tacos.
That's right.
Tacos and beer.
That's right. See? Great combo right there.
That's going to be a good Saturday. And come on out and bring a friend, bring a family, and let's all have a great discussion here and learn. And who knows what great things are going to come from this, because I think everyone's going to learn something or take away something. But I'm also going to say from something, I guess we're going to find there's a big gap in something somewhere, and it's like, you know what? Why is that not being done? Let's put the ball in motion and let's get that going here. And that's what this meeting's all about.
Exactly.
So, good deal. Let's. You want to shift gears, or do we got more health council stuff, or do you want to shift gears?
The only big thing I just want to point out is, for this, please, go to our Facebook page or even call 211.
Yes.
You can call them. Get yourself signed up so we know who's coming.
There is a phone number you can call to RSVP, and it's on the flyer, but just call 211.
Yeah,
it's
real
3
simple.
digits, and then it does the exact same thing. And it's really easy to remember. So call 211, say, hey, I heard them talking about the veterans veterans deal this Saturday, I'd like to be a part of that.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
They'll get you signed up and take your name and how many is coming, and they'll be appreciative. That way you know how many tacos to get ready.
Exactly.
Because ain't nothing worse than going to a taco thing and you're the one that the tacos run out on.
It's true. It's true. Don't be that person.
Exactly. But that's coming up again this Saturday.
Yep.
American Legion Post 28 there on Montana. Everything gets underway about 11. You'll be done at 2 o'clock.
Yep.
And come hungry and come ready. Come with ideas and come ready to hear some.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That being said, if you noticed, for those watching the video, he's got his Boys and Girls Club shirt on. That's his day job.
That's right.
And, of course, you guys have been pretty busy over at Boys and Girls Club, too.
We are trying very hard, and I'm really excited. We are going to start having middle schoolers this summer.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, so 1st through 8th grade is officially this summer. We are going to be accepting them.
Good.
We've got a whole different program going on. Some of the stuff will line up, like the different week themes, and some of them don't. But even still, they're going to have their own little area. They're going to be doing their own things. It's going to be a pretty exciting thing.
Boys and Girls Club, for those not familiar, is a great opportunity for your children. And like you said, from elementary up through middle school, even into high school.
Yep.
With activities and opportunities. Think of it as a great place for your children to get a lot of the ancillary stuff that sometimes they miss in school.
Yeah.
You know, Boys and Girls Club, you know, it's as the older they get, the more leadership they take into the activities and curriculum for Boys and Girls Club. So through that, they're learning leadership and management and those skills that someday will translate to, you know, if they want to own their own business or be a boss in any level, way, shape, or form in a career, that will help them that. But also the social side of it, making friends and getting peers their own age and right around there in their groups. And plus it can meet, you know, kids from outside of their school and stuff, because now you got kids from all over town, not just from their middle school or their elementary school. So they get to broaden that a little bit. And of course, it's great for parents because, you know, your work schedules and you know, it's like, oh man, I can't incorporate my lifestyle and getting everything that my child needs at the same time. You got to be at work. I can't. This is where Boys and Girls Club can kind of be that guide and help you do some of that stuff too. So, you know, I work every day, but my kid gets off at 3:30. What am I supposed to do? Oh, there's a place where, guess what? By the way, the first thing they do is work on homework and things when they get there. So, but you know, I know that my child is safe and is also doing what they should be doing in the next level here, getting that education.
Exactly.
But at the same time, having fun and doing all these things that they don't realize they're learning stuff in. And that's, but that's what Boys and Girls Club, it really is a tool, an excellent tool for your child to get a lot of the things that they're going to need to be adults and do it in a fun way, but do it in a way they don't even realize. It's like Boys and Girls Club serves that same role as church groups and scouting and many other youth sports and things like that. You know, I get it. Not every kid wants to play soccer or baseball. Not every kid wants to be a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout. Not every, kid wants to be in a church group. This really gives them an opportunity to do those things that maybe these don't necessarily jive to them or you do. And the great part is the resources and things are very affordable.
Yeah.
But also, work around your schedule and things for you. That's, Boys and Girls Club is designed, and the schedule is designed to provide things during times when parents are normally not available.
Yeah.
And that's really what Boys and Girls Club. So it's kind of as an additional tool for you as a parent to help do your job as parenting your children.
It's true. And it's a Monday through Friday thing. So, once we get into school, of course, we'll downshift on exactly what middle schools we're picking up from. Of course, we pick up from 8 different elementary schools across the city already.
And that's grown a lot. I remember probably around when you first moved into the Boys and Girls Club here in this part of our world, I think there's only a couple schools you were servicing at that time, and now it's already expanded.
We were still doing 8 at that time, but before then, it has grown over time.
Yeah.
But
transportation things has expanded and all that. The program has really grown leaps and bounds over the last couple years here. Obviously, for folks that aren't familiar, a huge investment right around COVID, pre-COVID, was put in the facilities of Boys and Girls Club. So in case you haven't been there in a couple of years, it's a whole new facility.
That's right.
The beautiful facility. So it's everything your children want. We got the staff and the programming and everything. And oh, by the way, pretty nice facility to do it all in.
It's true.
Yeah, it's if you grew up in Boys and Girls Club in Roswell, it's a little bit different than when you grew up.
It is. You know, we still love the sports. We still love the game time and all of those. But we want to do, we call them high yield activities. And so this is a way for kids to have fun, but learn at the exact same time. A lot of the STEM stuff that we do is huge high yield activities. We brought in Sphero Bolt. I don't know if you've ever heard of those before. So for all the nerds out there, the newer Star Wars 7, 8, and 9 BB-8, and Disney and Sphero actually teamed up and created BB-8 out of a Sphero Bolt.
Okay.
But one of the staff members was drawing her name the other day with one of those Sphero Bolts.
That is so cool.
It is. The technology is expanding like crazy, and all the fun things you get to do with it, it's a blast. It's fun.
It's an opportunity to get your kids' foot in the door in these kind of things, to find new interests and find their passions.
Exactly.
You know, if you have a child that is, like you said, kind of looking for direction, looking, what interests, I don't know, interests include, watch it, you know what I mean? And you're like, I want to expose my kid to what this world has to offer. Yeah. Boys and Girls Club can do that and give them this taste of things. And it's like, you know what? Because of Boys and Girls Club, my kid wants to be a graphic designer now, or because of they learned something in Boys and Girls Club, now they found their dream passions and careers, and that's what it's Boys and Girls Club is really a whole lot like throwing as much stuff at the wall and see what sticks for your kids.
Right.
That's really what Boys and Girls expose your kids to as many opportunities as possible and see what they gravitate towards and what they like, and not everything's going to be a winner.
No,
there's going to be something your kid's like, it's boring. Okay, I get it. Let's try something else then.
Exactly.
And that's what Boys and Girls Club is, a economical and cool way for you to kind of play the field with your kid and find out what they're into and what they like and what let them shape what they're going to be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. And it'll start in the Boys and Girls Club facility. That's a lot of time is there. So please, if you're looking for things for your children to get more involved in, to be more well-rounded individuals, Boys and Girls Club can help out with that.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Oh yeah, the middle school program, I know that one week that's pretty cool is it's a home economics week. So they're going to learn how to cook, they're going to learn how to do laundry, they're going to learn first aid, like out in the field first aid, not just first aid at home. So if you're in the middle of nowhere and you break a leg, what are you going to do in that scenario?
Yeah.
So you're going to start learning some of those little tidbits that are going to help them in life.
Absolutely. And trust me, as a guy that learned a lot of that through scouting, you never know when those things come. How many times you're at a ball game or something, someone skins a knee, and guess what? You're the one that can do the first aid, render first aid on them. And if someone breaks a leg, what things you have in your environment, you can create a splint right now so you can get them to professional medical help.
Exactly.
Here. And those are the types of things you learn through that immediate first aid. You can do a lot with things laying around. DIY first aid.
That's right.
Very. You can do a lot with a stick and some T-shirts and things to help someone medically.
Yeah, it's very true.
And it's a good skill that hopefully you never need, but is good to have in your pocket just in case. Especially for folks that live in New Mexico. Let's face it, we don't live in New York City where there's a person every 3 inches from you. And, we live in rural, it's not uncommon. Every winter we hear it. Somebody up north or whatever gets in an accident or gets off the road. Next thing you know, they're stranded for a week. Because no one, and guess what? You got to know what to do in those situations.
True.
And so we hope to God you never need these types of things. But if you get put in that situation, it could be the difference between you surviving it and you not surviving.
It's very true.
And it's very valuable stuff. And that also leads to other stuff for your kids too. When you're showing them first aid and you're showing them, because you're showing them preparedness, thinking on their feet. And so those same skill sets translate to whatever else they're into too. If you've got them thinking that way when it comes to first aid, they're going to be thinking that way when it comes to whatever art project or whatever they're into, math report or whatever whatever their STEM or art or wherever they go with it, they can use the same mindset to thrive there too.
It's true.
So, and that's what Boys and Girls Club's about. It gives them the critical thinking skills, the things that, whenever they're posed with a problem in life, they can look at it from a logical standpoint and say, all right, here's my options. Here's what I do. What can I do here? And other than sit there and scratch their head and say, I guess we're screwed. Let's go home.
Right.
And we live in a world where I think kids are more that way. And we've got to get them back to, things aren't going to work out sometimes in life. Things aren't going to be what they're supposed to be. And you're going to have to find a way to make it right. And,
that's very true.
And that's where Boys and Girls Club can give your children the skill sets and abilities to think on their feet and do things on their feet and be to a point where they ain't calling you every week saying, Mom, how do I do my fold my laundry? No, they can do it themselves now. Right. They got the skill set. They can do this. So
yeah,
and that's why boys go, and they do it in a way that's fun. Mm-hmm. That's the part. They don't realize they're learning all this ancillary stuff. They don't realize that you're preparing them for adults. They think they're just having a cool group project with their buddies, and that's really what. And that's where the passion gets. And as they get a little older, they start saying, "Oh, the light bulb moment's
out." Yeah,
that's when they put two and two together. But when they're elementary school age, it's all about fun and just the living in the moment kind of thing.
Exactly.
But so as far as signing up and registering for boys, what's probably the best way or way you recommend families kind of do that process?
They got two ways, actually. So you can jump onto our website. If you just Google Boys and Girls Club in Roswell, you can jump onto our website, go to the Roswell page and print out an application, get it all filled out. And then once it's filled out, you can come by the club. There is generally somebody there from 10 to 6 Monday through Friday during the school year. Or you can just come by the club. Either way, you'll get an application. Once we get that filled out and get a couple pieces of information, we'll collect the things we need to collect, and you're all signed up.
Of course, you can take a tour and stuff. If
exactly.
you want to, say, hey, I'd like to bring my kid here. Show me what you got.
Yeah.
And they'll be happy to walk you through. Obviously, of course, see it when they're in session and things. That's a good thing too, to see some activities. But do mind if they're all busy and they can't, busy. The part of one's the kids. And so, but yeah, see it in session. See it, when it's quiet and you can see everything too. But don't hesitate to come by and talk. And of course, if you're looking for options or need help in way, shape, or form, there's options there to, even if it's a financial stuff and all that.
We got scholarships available.
There's opportunities. Don't let money be the obstacle that's stopping you from doing this. If that's the only hurdle, then guess what? We'll figure that one out. We can find a way for it because the valuable fun and insight and the things your child will gain, it'll pay for itself in tenfold.
Exactly.
After all that. So if you can't get your kid in because we're strapped on cash, we'll find resources for that. We can. Please don't let that be the obstacle to stop you.
Come and have a conversation.
Talk to the staff. Let's see, because we want to make sure we can give every opportunity for your kid to thrive. And we're not going to let a couple bucks stop that. But please come on by. Give the address for folks that are. I can remember the actual address. I'm like, it's right over.
It's 201 South Garden, so it's right behind the farmers market on 2nd.
Yes, you can't miss it. And but if you need to put in the GPS there, it's 201 South. I never remember address. I'm always like, hey, you're on Garden or you're on Chisholm over there, but I don't know the number, Or if I'm lucky if I get the road right. Usually I get the road wrong too. But I can tell you where it's. But if it's near a food moniker, I'm like, it's right by the Burger King. It's right by the McDonald's. I can do that real easy. But come and learn more about Boys and Girls Club. Come pop in on a given day and just watch the activities and stuff and let them see firsthand what's going on a daily basis at Boys and Girls Club here. And like you said, now that we're able to expand into middle schools and stuff, so some of the kids in 6th and 7th and 8th grade, there's more things, more curriculum for you too. And for some of those that are probably 4th and 5th, they're like, oh, great, now I got 3 more years of stuff. I thought I was wrapping up, and nope. 3 more years to the program.
Nope. Now we start teaching leadership skills. So
good deal. Yeah. Start to see a next level of the fruits of kind of what they've been either on purpose or accidentally learning here for the last their time here. But please come on. And then of course don't forget this Saturday, Chaves County Health Council wants to invite all veterans, all people to come out to American Legion Post 28 this Saturday beginning at 11 a.m. for a big forum on veterans issues, brainstorming session. If you've got questions about veterans resources or information to share about veterans resources, or if you want to learn about veterans resources, or any cocktail thereof, please come out to the meeting. RSVP by calling 211 and just say, hey, I want to come to the meeting. It'll be me and my friend or my family.
Get some information.
Give a number. And then come hungry. And then, like you said, if you got kids and everything, you're like, well, I need a babysitter, no problem. Child care will be provided. Food will be provided. All we need is for you to show up. That's right. The only thing we're missing.
Yeah.
And, of course, if you want to get involved more at the Health Council, too, come to the meeting on Saturday. There's going to be other Health Council members there. They're always looking for volunteers to serve on the Health Council. They meet, you guys meet once a month, right?
Meet once a month. I can't tell you off the top of my head exactly when we meet next.
Yeah.
But, Health Council page, of course, can give you that. Or if you come on Saturday and you've got questions, we can get you those answers.
Absolutely.
Too.
They're always looking, because again, it's another group of people doing resources and things. 2-on-1, it's another many hands make less work type deal where, you have folks all walks of life, sharing their, the people that are serve on the Health Council, they're business owners and community volunteers and everything, just like, of society here. And so they're always looking for more people to get involved. And,
that's right.
Especially even healthcare folks. I mean, like for folks that don't realize, the Health Council, you do a lot of stuff and the public knows about, like the back to school, the health fair and the things. But in between all that, they're really working with providers and doctors and other things about resources for trainings and things like that. Like from time to time, they'll have an expert on, I don't know, something like autism or something like that. And so they'll bring that in, and then healthcare professionals here can go and talk and learn more about that particular expertise. So really, you guys work with some of the ancillary extra training and stuff for our healthcare professionals here too. So they serve the community in providing resources, but they also serve our provider side and giving them more opportunities to expand their education too. So.
Exactly. Just like together with veterans, the Health Council, we want to help people know, where do you go?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. It's, I just saw the time. I was like, ooh, I better hit that button. but please come out this Saturday, 2-on-1 to RSVP. And then of course, if you have any questions about Boys and Girls Club, come on by. What's the phone number over there, too?
575-550-5001.
And look for Boys and Girls Club on social media and all that, Roswell, and you'll like and follow and shoot a question, and we get back to you. So.
Exactly.
Good deal. Did we get it all, Rick?
We got it all.
Awesome. Well, thank you as always. Appreciate the visit.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you next time.
Definitely.
It is closing in on 9 o'clock. Time for Town Hall News. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KE.
Institute. The exhibition will include the work of regionally based SFAI resident artists. It'll be on view April 20th through October 13th in the Roswell Museum's Russell Vernon Hunter Gallery. An opening reception is scheduled for Friday, April 19th. SFAI's 2023 residency theme was Changing Climate, a regenerative action is a gesture, movement, or effort to achieve a reversal of human-led environmental destruction through adaptive strategies of regrowth and revival, engendering a renewed existence of all species on the planet. Yet another scam warning going out, this time from the Eddy County Sheriff's Office, who says someone is claiming to be Sergeant Jason Decker. People report getting calls telling them that there is a warrant out for their arrest. Of course, they demand money immediately. The Eddy County Sheriff's Office does not operate in this manner. So remember, anyone who demands payment immediately, especially through gift cards, is usually always a scam. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Your morning cup of Sean. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I was looking at a chart. The Trump campaign put this out, but they cited Custom and Border Patrol, and it literally goes through the years starting in 2012 when DACA was announced and the Obama family detention policies were put in place. And then it goes through to 2017 when Donald Trump became president. The number of illegal immigrants coming into the country hit an all-time low. And then in 2020, when the new DHS tools were beginning and the wall was being built, it went to the lowest point it had been to since 2012. And then you look at the Biden years, and, we got nearly 300,000 illegal immigrants coming in every month, or 250,000 to 300,000 a month.
The Conservative Underground meets later today on The Sean Hannity Show.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9862. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9862. That's 800-575-9862. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things look pretty good today. High pressure over the four corners covering our area will be in the upper 70s, sunshine, and the wind should stay fairly light for now. Overnight will be clear with low 40s, warming up a little bit on Thursday, low 80s and sunny. We have a low pressure trough moving in on Friday. No rain with that, but it will be very windy. Afternoon high in the mid 80s and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Payroll processor ADP reports last month's job gains hit an 8-month high. American businesses added 184,000 positions in March. It's the latest evidence of a remarkably resilient U.S. economy that keeps people employed and corporate profits humming, although it could also add upward pressure on inflation. Inflation in Europe tumbled more than expected, falling to 2.4%. It clears the way for a potential interest rate cut by the European Central Bank. Analysts say the decline keeps the ECB on track for an interest rate cut in June. U.S. first quarter auto sales grew nearly 5% despite high interest rates. Shares of egg producer Cal-Maine Foods jumped 7% after it easily beat third quarter profit targets. Intel shares slid 4.7%. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
The Roswell Symphony Orchestra proudly presents Pines of Rome, Saturday, April 27th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell, featuring guest soloist Ariel Horowitz. You're invited to the pre-concert event at 6 p.m. at the Daniels Leadership Center, featuring special guest Dr. Jim Shearer. Tickets and more information at roswellsymphony.org or call 575-623-5882. Sponsored by Sarah and Robert Armstrong, New Mexico Arts, Pioneer Bank, Pepsi, and KOBR TV8. Ad paid for by Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Check out some of the bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select gallons of Food Club milk are $2.98 each. Select cans of Food Club veggies are 2 for $1. And boxes of Food Club mac and cheese are 3 for $1. In produce, large cantaloupe are 2 for $3. And ears of fancy corn are 2 for $1. In the meat department, jumbo packs of boneless chicken breasts are $1.99 a pound. And quarter loin pork chops are $1.79 a pound. These are just some of the savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Whether you're a homeowner, a landscaper, or a contractor, we all have reasons to dig. If you're planning to dig, this is just a friendly reminder that locating underground utilities is important. It's actually the law. Call 811 3 days before you dig. New Mexico Gas Company is one of the utilities that will come out free of charge to mark our underground lines up to the meter, so you'll know what's below. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
With 64 games in the books, UConn, Purdue, NC State, and Alabama now converge on Phoenix, with just 2 more wins needed to claim the 2024 NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Tune in this Saturday to hear Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA Final Four.
Coverage begins Saturday at 1 p.m. on KSVP Radio and the KSVP app.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
I'm John Scott. Thousands of homes and businesses without power after